We got Ali here.
Yeah, can you guys hear me, or do I sound like?
You sound good, man. You sound good.
Okay.
I'm just setting up everything. Okay, we have 1, 2, 6, 9, 10. Like I said, we have 10 people here.
2 away.
I know. Where the fuck is Christian? I'm gonna kill him. He's fucking with my numbers. Where the fuck is Shelly? Fucking with my numbers, man. I told him I'd kill him. Let's see. Where's his lazy ass at? He's probably asleep. Fucking ISTP, man.
I think at that point you motivate him.
Huh? That boy is the most unmotivated person I ever met in my life. Let me see. Okay, meanwhile, let me see. I'm just where is Dion? He better get his ass on here, man. As much fucking chaos he's been starting in the fucking group, he better get his ass on here. That Dion is not me. If y'all can't tell the difference between me and him, I swear to God. Where the fuck is Dion? Dion? Like, me and his writing are not the same. Like, it is not even close.
He's real. I saw there's a video of him on Joyce's page from a year ago about NTs. So yes, he is real.
Thank you. There's somebody.
No, and I'll admit, Mercer, I have more respect for you now since he's been posting the nonsense he's been posting.
You guys know me. I'm a little bit more punctual than Dion.
Right.
Like I noticed that he's a little bit more surface level. I love him.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong. He's a little bit more surface level than me.
Yes, you are healthier than him.
If you see me, I usually got your ass in checkmate. Like, if you see me like commenting some shit, I got your ass in checkmate. So if I'm gonna talk about, like, I don't know, I don't just go too deep in the red pill. I like the red pill. I think it's helpful to learn some things, but there's some things that don't work. And I also feel like since everyone's doing it now, it doesn't work. You know, whenever everybody else is doing something, it's time to move on to something else. Because
they don't take into account typology.
And I think it's like so much TikTok and shit like that. Like, those strategies were good maybe 3 years ago, but not everybody knows. Like, the other day, some girl I like freaking called at 4 a.m. or something, and she sent me a fucking video on dudes calling a girl at 4 a.m. and I was like, fuck, I can't do this anymore. You know? But yeah, so
hey,
like,
Leon, I messaged
Hey, how's it
you.
going?
Leon's on. There we go. 9. That's 11. So we actually have 11. So whatever. Screw it. We go.
Catriel? Is that how do you say your name?
Catriel.
I'll look for it. Wait.
Okay, so we're going to hit start. I'm going to talk about the goals that I accomplished. What we're going to do is we're going to ask 4 questions. What was your goals last month? What did you accomplish? And what are your goals this month will be the second question. What's something you like about the group? And what's something you think we can do to improve the group? So we're going to ask those 4 questions and we'll take turns. And I'll go first. My goals for last month was to at least read 1 to 2 books. I actually did finish one. It was What Does Your Body Language Say About You? I've really been trying to work on that type of thing. I feel like that's kind of something I'm lacking. So that's been kind of my 2023 thing. And I'm supposed to read 40 books. Goal was to get 300 members in the group, 150 YouTube videos, and to lose some weight. So I've been working on that. I've been doing 2 miles every time I hit the gym. So yeah, that's for me. Have I accomplished any of them? Yeah, I have. I don't really have much trouble with goals. What are my goals for the month of March? Pretty much the same thing, to stay on task and don't burn out. What's something I like about the group? I like that everyone's posting. I like the comments. I don't really have a problem with any of the comments or anything like that. I just hope no one gets their feelings hurt, because some people can be a little bit more cutthroat than others. What's something I think can improve the group? I really want to improve like getting the background types more involved in the group. That means the INFPs, the INTPs, ISFPs, and ISFJs really more involved because I think they can just like harbor into the shadows. But
We should just take over. We'll get together, we'll form a group and overthrow Mercer.
I love the background types. 'Cause whenever they talk, they're very well thought out. So I love when they talk. But does anyone have to go soon so we can get those people going first? Anyone has to go soon? Anyone? Ollie, you don't have to go soon? Okay, so we'll start off with Tommy. Tommy, what are your goals for last month, and did you accomplish them?
I didn't really have. I wasn't in the last conversation, but I have started training this year, so it's my goal. Try to have a workout like 5 days a week.
Okay, congratulations.
Shorter. Yeah, and it's been pretty good.
That's great. What are your goals for this month?
I haven't thought of any. I just try to continue with working out and such.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What's something you like about the group? INTP.
Yeah, I just kind of read a bit all the time what happens and such, what people think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, been more in the background, say.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. You guys are always there, but no one notices you. What's something you think can improve the group? See, you guys are good at this. Background types are really good at in improvement. So, what do you think we could do to improve the group?
I haven't thought about it. I'm not sure right now, actually.
Okay, well, we'll come back to you.
Yeah.
All right, so Katie, you're up top, so we can go to next to you. So, what were your goals last month, and what did you accomplish of your goals?
Oh, I didn't mind waiting. I'm here for the long haul. So the only goal I talked about was building my business, and I posted it the other day. I finished my Boots to Business course last week and started the new one this week. It's about not just doing your business plan, but doing market research, talking to customers about, their needs. And it's a very thorough and intensive, more detail oriented that I don't have to help me build my business. So that I'm continuing on with. I actually left my job. I found that they weren't okay with all of my TE. So I gave notice, and they were, wow. I don't know, there's a lot of FE people there. No offense to FE people, but higher FE. And I was different than them, and it was very clear. And so it was almost like a little, difficult situation where I left. But I've had more time to focus on my business. So, yeah.
Wow.
Weight loss, I had said last month that I didn't have a plan yet.
Yeah, you're supposed to get that plan.
Oh, yeah. So what I did, and I'm not going to talk, well, I guess I could talk about it, but I guess I'll post about it. I had found something called Banting, which not the Banting that is like low carb, but the original gentleman who did it in 1865. It actually included wine and fruit and veggies. So I've been doing it, and I've lost 8 pounds.
That's really good.
Yeah, it's kind of low carb, but not quite. It's definitely meat, not fully carnivore, but definitely grass-fed beef. I've been using grass-fed beef for 8 years. I've seen inflammation signs going down. I have psoriasis, really bad psoriasis. So I've seen the inflammation go down. And energy, my brain is clearer. As far as, normally I've had issues with a lot of what I feel like is depression. And so this week, I've definitely, I reached that hump of the sugar withdrawal. Once that happened, it was like, okay, I'm good to go. Plans were coming to my head easily. And before it was a struggle. So yeah, I am happy with what I'm doing. I'll share more details eventually if I think it's viable to share with others in case they want to try it. But I'm happy with it so far. I'm not sure who is pinging me right now, but sorry.
It's all good.
So that was my only 2 goals. Yeah.
What are your goals for next month?
So, well, I'm not sure how this will be taken, but some of the realizations that I've had is as I've delved into the Enneagram a little bit, which I kind of thought was bunk, but it helped me in the last few weeks, is I realized that I have done a lot of things for other people, not FE type, but TE type, like my reputation. And I was raised with some religious folks, so I've always done things the way they, based on how they would think. So I actually used to be a professional dominatrix, and I stopped. Yes.
What's that?
I yes. What?
I said, what's a professional dominatrix? I've never heard of this.
So it kind of goes along with the lines of what Deanne was talking about, and I was waiting for him to be here because I wanted to ask him, right, what is someone like me who has spent most of her life as an NT and has had issues trying to be that feminine woman for a man, and then every time I'm in a relationship, I naturally take charge. I naturally tend to attract men that are more submissive, which is, to me, is not a problem. There are secure, submissive men. I believe it's typology, not they're simps or whatever. That is, I'm not a feminist. That's, I've been very traditional in the past. I've tried to be, a stay-at-home mom with my son. And there comes to a point where someone like me who has TE is a higher function that says enough is enough. I have to be who I am, and trying to suppress that TE is only unhealthy for someone like me. So I've decided so professional dominatrix is someone who men pay to, whether it be spank them or they submit to, or there's all, I can go into more details, but.
Whoa,
so,
I've never heard of this shit.
What Dion is talking about is BS, because I used to do it, and I've had ENTJ men who have paid me. And
Dion, she calling you out, buddy.
So the BS, yes, I know all about that stuff. I know about cuckolding. I know about all that stuff. I have been in that domain, and so because of that religious stuff that I've had surrounding me, and it's like, no more. I'm going to do it. I don't give a fuck who cares, what says. I'm going to do it. I'm good at it. I'm good at taking charge. I'm good at being in control. I do it naturally. That's why. And then I've struggled with relationships because I seek out that TJ man when I'm a TJ, and we're fighting because we both want to be in control. So how does that make sense for me to try and be submissive when it's not natural to me? That's bullshit.
I think you just have to figure out when it comes. There's a girl last week, and she's an INTJ, and I probably shouldn't have called her fucking 2 a.m. But she got in there and she told me she was gonna be dominant, and I told her straight up that's not gonna work for me. That's straight up not gonna work for me. Okay, guess what? I like there's no way we can if you're gonna be like my woman. First, I got to be able to believe that you're smart. First of all, if I believe you're stupid, good God. I won't even think about your feelings. It's like, all right, when I like think about you as someone who's like kind of stupid, I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna do this, and then they be like, oh, you can't do that. You didn't care about my feelings or whatever. But I'm just like, yo, you're dominant woman. It's like I'm not gonna bump heads with my woman. I'm just not gonna do that. I'm just not gonna do that long term. I'm just not gonna this is not gonna work for me.
You're not compatible, and that's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay.
But I just think
that's
I
just
think
thinking
she's
for me.
I think she's an idiot anyway. But that's just my thinking. She's an idiot.
Well, that goes in my head too. A lot of guys I date, I've always said, you have to make love to my mind before you even go any further. If you're not smart, if we can't have an intellectual conversation, we're done. I have no interest. Mm-hmm. My daughter's father, he was an SP. Mm-hmm. I decided right off the bat, because he's black. He was more like that hood,
mm-hmm.
fat,
Mm-hmm.
But I knew right away, this is just sex material, fuck buddy. That's it. So, and that's what I got.
Hey,
that's what I wanted. That's what I got.
Dion, you got anything to say there? You're on the chat now. You can prove that I am not you and you are not me. You got anything to say?
Well, I mean, how many? Hello, everybody. I'm Dion. First off, to let you know I'm not Mercer. We have 6 different gentlemen here already. Let me ask you, gentlemen, all something, so that the women can see here yourself. Who's naturally in an environment to be more dominant or be more aggressive? Women or men?
What do you mean by environment? Like my work environment?
Any environment. Well, okay, let's say it like this. Who's more naturally to be more competitive?
Say on the average, men would be more competitive, but there are outliers on both ends.
I don't know. I think that depends, because if you take a woman to an arcade game or arcade, man, they be competitive as hell. They kind of like sneaky competitive.
About the women, of course not.
They kind of like sneaky competitive, like I don't know. I go to a lot of I go on a lot of dates, man, and I take them all to the same place, okay? And you will see the competitive side for women come out, and you know me, I'm gonna whoop your ass. I don't give a fuck. I done played this shit 1,000 times. You just don't know that. You think it's my first time, but it ain't really my first time. But they be sneaky competitive, They say, "Oh, I ain't competitive," and then they start playing. They start playing a video game.
I have no problem.
So, what was your question again, Catrell? How do you say your name?
Catriel.
Catriel, what was your question again?
Well, I don't have a question. I had comments.
A statement.
Yeah. No, I don't. I mean, it's just more like
it was long-winded, but
I don't have a issue with. I'm an NTK too. So I think what you fail to realize is, and I don't know how you came to Joyce, but Joyce usually pulls people from Personality Hacker. A healthy ENTJ
I think it's pretty
goes
healthy.
into their NI, which goes into the perspective of other people. Meaning that
perspective doesn't mean agreement.
No. You gotta let me finish.
Doesn't mean
agreement. Wait. One at a time.
You were long-winded.
No.
Wait, one at a time. So perspectives would be NE.
No, Personality Hacker. So he came from Personality Hacker. NI means like being able to put yourself in another person's perspective. That's
weird.
What that means. Right.
That's weird. That's right. Usually because if you listen to a NI user, they're usually not putting themselves in another person's perspective. The person who puts themselves in another person's perspective is usually an NE user. Someone like Leon, maybe Ali, maybe Tommy up there, Wendy down there, NT's strong. Jordan, how do you feel about putting yourself in other people's shoes?
I mean, I can do it, but I start with my own.
Yeah, see?
Grace, so FI can be sympathetic to other people if they've been in that circumstance.
Yeah, but NE is usually multiple. Like if you ever see any user, they'll say you're not being open enough.
Right.
Because they're putting themselves in other people's perspectives. But
so I'm gonna guess that because like today when he addressed Sarah and mentioned about marriage, when he probably has no experience with that, me being a previous or current divorce mediator knows all the aspects and has seen both sides. And I'm not a feminist. No, I'm very traditional. I don't even care for the feminine. I'm more of a libertarian, but I'm definitely not a feminist. But I also believe in taking both sides and seeing both. I've seen men and women through divorce, and both can be equally responsible. So to blame one side or take one YouTube video of Kevin Samuels, who was divorced twice. He died of hypertension at 52. If you want to listen to someone like that who is dead because he was so bitter that 2 women divorced him, then so be it.
I mean, did you conduct the autopsy though?
You're not going to insult Sarah, who was abused by a man.
Okay.
And you choose to insult her but she was abused and say that she didn't work things through.
I don't think that was his.
You don't understand that certain people live through certain things. Okay, even though I'm an NTJ, I'm able to sympathize with way more people because of what the shit I've been through. Okay, I'm an orphan. I was in foster care. I was trafficked. I was abused. I have been homeless. Doesn't mean I use it to be negative. I've come up from that on my own. I have no family. And I know from your video, Dion, you have family. Okay, I know someone said you might have had no parents. I have no parents and no family. My family is my children. That's it. That's how the fuck you come up. I had no support. Okay, but I have the ability, what the fuck I've lived through, that I can sit there and be sympathetic to people.
Woo!
The problem is when you're an NTJ, as a woman, you have more access to your FE than you do. So when you come on there and say all that BS, make sure you use a better script.
All right, Dion, you want to tell them what you really was trying to do, man? Because I think sometimes people get, they got to see from your side of the story, and comments don't tell everything. So comments don't tell everything.
Yeah. So basically, what I was trying to do was, this is the whole reason I joined this group was about growth. Being a dominatrix or whatever you call it has nothing to do with general. Everybody loves to give their specifics on certain things. It has nothing to do with generalities. You being a dominatrix woman doesn't benefit you at all. I don't care what you say. It doesn't benefit you at all, and it doesn't benefit other men when men are trying to pursue healthy relationships. Every time you talk to a woman, she goes to her specifics. Well, this is what happened with me. What about the men as well? When we're talking about dating, we're talking about two. We're not talking about you as an individual. So instead of trying to pick a fight and saying that I'm this and I'm that without actually getting to know me, you don't know anything about me as well. Men have to go through this all the time. I have cancer right now. I don't have family. I didn't grow up with my parents. You think a woman on a first night date, she's trying to hear that? Whereas all these men, we have to listen to that every day with people like you. Every day we go on a date, we have to listen to the same exact stories. And guess what? If something like that happened to us, we just say, okay, it is what it is. I got to move forward. You women want to make yourself special when you're generalist at best. Generalist, not specialty. That means that the stuff that you go through is the same stuff men go through. We just can't complain about it. So it wasn't about trying to make it where a difference between men and women where I'm against women. I love women. My grandmother raised me. So I'm not against women. What I am saying is that women do need to be held accountable for their actions. Because we've heard it for years about men not being anything. As you can tell, I'm a man of color, right? So I've had to go through numerous different things for people thinking that, even if I'm well educated, even if I do carry a job, even if I do have these different thoughts, I still look dangerous to society. Right? Who's experienced that as a color man?
You're going to use that card? Are you really?
I don't always use that card.
Yo, wait. All right.
Are you really going to use
you
that
too.
card?
You too.
I don't always use that card. I don't always use that card.
I should show you my son.
I know it's a factor, but I'm gonna tell you this. I'll tell you this. How many women run around saying
how you doing?
That's my son.
By the way, how many times do people say? How many times do women go and say, "I've been abused" just because they had an argument with their husband or spouse? That's abuse when you have an argument.
Are you serious?
No, I'm dead serious.
Wow.
Sarah's case.
Wow, that's not Sarah's case. I'm not sharing her business, but that's not Sarah's.
Sarah is one special
but
case.
For you to bring that race card in, that's bullshit. Okay, that's bullshit.
Sarah is one case. No, it's not. Sarah is one case out of many different women. That's what y'all love to bring up. Y'all love to go to the How many men would sit here and not lie and say that women don't bring things to the highest degree when they're explaining certain things? They do it all the time.
But you got the wrong one. So it's not the same. You're saying the emotions and all that. I'm an NPJ. Emotions.
You're saying general things.
Okay.
I'm not saying general stuff.
Okay. So
if you're going to resort to insults, we have nothing to discuss.
How's it an insult by telling you that you're wrong? Agreement doesn't mean
I'm not
agreement.
wrong.
I don't have to. Perspectives don't mean agreement. That's what I should have started with. Perspectives don't mean agreement. I don't have to agree with you.
No, it doesn't. But being able to understand other people is.
Okay, understanding other people. Okay, so you understand and then what? You understand to move forward. You don't sit there just to understand. You understand to move forward. Some kind of action. Nobody's justifying the action that's happened to you in your past. It's about how you handle it. As an ENTJ, you should know this. Okay. Woman or not, this is how I'm going to carry forward.
I don't need to even do that.
Okay, guys. Hey, we got to move on to the goals. We'll get back to y'all at the end.
No, Mercer, I respect this. No, Mercer, I respect this is your format.
Yeah.
I would be happy to have a separate
debate,
video with him because there's more
that
needs to be said.
Hey, let's do it. I mean, we could.
I don't have time right now, but that's fine.
Hey, you guys can have a debate. That's. I mean, we've had one in the future.
For that because the BS of him not realizing being in MBTI, you should understand that different women have different needs. I don't give a fuck about things.
Hold on, let me tell you something. Hold on.
Wait.
Hold on. I've been studying MBTI for 7+ years. I don't care what you view as being. Your nature is still a woman. You can't change it. Point blank, period. You can't change the cherry tree into an orange tree. Your nature is still feminine. This is why you come here arguing with me about points that's completely irrelevant. You could have just got on the phone call, hey Dion, this is what I think about this kind of situation. But you want to come on here, make it a public platform instead of just saying, let me talk to you in person and see what you think about it. Because what I'm saying because of what I'm saying on the group, and I'm putting it as a group chat, it seemed as controversial, but that's not what I was trying to do.
But wait a minute.
We can definitely have this debate.
Wait, a year ago on Joyce's video, you said that NTs have no problem debating with each other, and it's no problem. Why can't I discuss this with you in front of other people? I won't do it now.
I can go through.
I respect the Mercer, but by all means, let's do this because I'm not going to have you disrespect the other women on here.
Wait. Let's slow down. We're gonna have this debate between you and Dion in the future. Whenever you guys both are available, because I think comments don't show when people comment, they can be misconstrued and stuff. So let's just get a debate because I believe people probably agree on a lot more things than they disagree on. So, but let's move forward. Jordan, what were your goals for last month, and did you accomplish them? And let's get Jordan. Jordan, you got some light in there, man?
Yeah, so I'll go through my goals from last month. So one of my main goals has been fitness related. I think we talked about this last time. We start lifting more. The good news, I start lifting more. The bad news is now you have your weights. So a good problem to have, I suppose. So that's going pretty well overall. I talked last time about health and eating grocery store protein. So I ordered Good Ranchers. That's going well. It is a little more expensive.
I saw that you posted that. You posted more of the Good Rancher or whatnot.
And so I talked to Good Ranchers over the phone. And the reason why I did it is because they are not connected to some of the big Wall Street firms that are and entities that are pushing experimental medicines into cattle that can be harmful to humans. Good Ranchers, they have pretty clean protein, and I talked to them on the phone about it. So I started ordering, and essentially what they'll do is I order burgers and chicken every 2 weeks, and that's enough for me for about 2 weeks. And it will come in with what's it called, dry ice or whatever. And so it'll just arrive on your porch, and then you can bring it in and put it in the freezer. And that's about roughly enough for about 2 to 3 servings for a grown adult male a day. It might be more for you, Mercer, if you're in the gym for 3 hours, but for most people, it's probably close enough for a few weeks. So that's going well. I'm looking into some other things. I talked about this on the forum, like trying things like non-fluoride toothpaste, and there's some other minor things, but I'll talk about that in the forum, not here. Also, working in some intermittent fasting. That seems to help get rid of inflammation when I have some. That's also appears to be a good way to start detoxing from people. So if they've had medications in the past that have had some side effects, fasting can be a piece of helping your body heal if done correctly. I'm a skinnier guy, so I won't fast for more than a meal at a time, but it is something to consider. On finance, I talked about this last time. I talked about my thesis, but I think the market's about to crash. The big banks are over leveraged. One thing I didn't present last time, though I found out recently, I've been talking with an online banker friend of mine, and he presented that some of the big banks, what they've done is they've sold securities, but have not yet purchased them. And so in layman's terms, they've sold stocks they don't have as shorts, and they'll eventually have to bring them back. But they've sold hundreds of billions of dollars of stock. So it is a systematic risk. And I talked about last time. So in terms of investing, not financial advice, but my opinion is to have some physical precious metals, some supplies, even something like food. That's more of an emergency thing. And then some of the retail stocks that are owned by retail and not Wall Street, because when the market dumps, the theory is that Wall Street will have to buy those back and those will rise. And if people have individual questions, they can ask me about that. What I'd also add, so those are my goals. I'm moving forward on those. I've added some changes for the upcoming month. On finance, I'm looking at getting some additional work in the meantime, because it's taking a little bit longer to play out than my initial goals and thoughts. So I'm working with a recruiter on that. It's a little bit difficult to find the best fit, because a lot of positions require you to poison yourself at least once a year and have their own corporate religions they're pushing, like DEI and such. So just trying to find what's going to be right opportunity that's going to be business that has value. And I'd say on a more humorous note, I'm just hoping to survive the next train derailment that pukes chemicals everywhere. I'm not far from the big one in Ohio, and they tried to derail one a few miles away from me, but luckily that one didn't blow up. So, but I did promise the group, if I start growing extra arms, I'll make some guitar videos on how to play guitar with 4 arms. So I think that'll be very useful to the group until my time of passing on this plane of existence. Okay, so I'll go to the next 2 things we can improve. So I'll add 2 things. So I think we can get more people on the Discord. In case Facebook happens to go down, Discord is a good backup. I think at least some of the people here are already on the Discord. You can reshare that link. But just having a backup so people can communicate if needed, that's probably a good idea. Facebook has had their servers go down a few times last year, at least temporarily. Okay. And then last thing I would say is I think you mentioned this, Mercer, but I think individual agreements or disagreements are probably best handled in between those parties, as opposed to a group forum like this, unless it's like a scheduled debate type of event, and then all gloves are off, I suppose. And those are the things that can improve. And the last positive thing I would add is I still like the general direction that people are, in fact, focusing on improvement and sharing different perspective and links, because it gives us a chance to review other information that I don't know. Like I've reviewed stuff from Mercer, from Sarah, from others that I probably wouldn't have gotten elsewhere. So it is helpful to have that information. So I'll stop there.
I want to ask you one thing. Did you check out NMN supplements or anything like that?
No. Can you spell that for me?
NMN. The one I post it all the time, Jordan. It's like the one thing I post like once a day. Or it's like it's a longevity supplement.
Okay, I'll add it to my list.
As like you age, your NAD goes down. It just shows like, especially like after 30, it starts to drop more. like 40 and 50, tends to drop more and more. And what people have noticed is if they supplement with NAD, that they're, I mean, not NAD, but with an NAD precursor, which is NMN or NR or niacin or whatnot, they've actually been able to increase like their levels, and it basically allows you to live your 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s in a better state. The pharmaceutical company is trying to take it off the market because I think they want to monetize it because it's been a little too good. They've seen like places where it's like helping people fight certain diseases. If you go online, there's like several YouTube videos from people talking about like how their sinuses cleared up or like asthma, that type of thing. So I think they're trying to monetize it in a different way now. Amazon is stopping the selling of it as of March 14th. So that's
yeah, that's if Big Pharma's against it, that always raises an eyebrow for me. I'll look into it, Mercer. What I would ask is, I guess for you know, those in the call, has there been any reported negative side effects or negative studies regarding the product?
There has been, like, you know, with anything, like some things come out. I know my buddy DK, he's way more into it than me. He could probably explain it more. Hey, DK, you there? Shit, I don't know if you can hear me. He's
Yes.
way. Oh, DK, you there? Oh shit, I don't know if he's there. Okay, hey, he can explain more about NMN than me. That's like his passion. Can you give him?
It's kind of a loaded question, but so what's your question?
I was just telling him about like just basically get some type of NAD boosting product, man. I think it's will be worth your money.
Yeah, I mean, you know, still in developmental stages, but yeah, there's a lot of pretty strong supporting evidence that it extends quality of life in the patient and rats really. But any side effects, some cautionary things I would probably say to someone that has never heard of it or is considering getting it is if you have any existing conditions like cancer primarily is the main thing. If you have a history in your family or if you're susceptible and predisposed to a certain type of cancer, I would be a little bit more cautious and scrupulous on your research and maybe taking it. But other than that, if you don't have any predispositions, I would probably encourage it. It helps cardiovascular function, pretty much keeps all your tissue in your body at a younger state for a longer period of time. So.
I got a question for you, DK. What's the responsibility of so NMN is a precursor to, I guess, what the NADs? What's the function of NADs in your body?
So you could kind of think of NAD as like the accelerator to a gas pedal. You know, it kind of accelerates your cellular actions, your metabolic pathways in your body. So just like your T3 hormone, your thyroid hormone is kind of the gas pedal. This is kind of like intracellular gas pedal, where it's in almost every single metabolic process in your body. So without it, you're kind of short-handed yourself, you know. And basically, it limits the transcription factor. So basically, it controls certain genes called SIRT1 through SIRT SIRT 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 7. And the main ones you want to pay attention to are SIRT1 and SIRT7. And basically, it allows these genes to replicate and be modulated correctly throughout your life. So,
there's SIRT1 and SIRT7, are those segments of DNA? Like, what are those?
Those are genes.
Sirtuins.
So there are genes that can be turned on, turned off, or limited if you don't have the right nutrients, and their functionality and the ability to be transcribed, because they are part of your genes, are diminished over time through, metabolic abnormalities, aging, certain disease states, inflammation, and stuff like that.
That's really interesting. I just looked up what a gene was to make sure I got the right definition. Okay, so it's a chromosome, and that is part of your DNA, and apparently its ability to be replicated gets damaged over time as you get older. But I mean, what does that apply to this replication of like your entire DNA sequence? Like, why? I guess I'm probably getting too deep into it. I don't want to derail this too much. But,
Yeah, it's so. Just to like sum up some of your questions, like basically all your genes are being transcribed and copied, transcribed, and made like every single second that you're awake. And so imagine like your body trying to copy itself, and sometimes it has errors, and when it has an error, it's technically a mutation. And mutations usually have the connotation of being negative, but sometimes you can have positive mutations as well.
Right.
But over time, you're trying to minimize the amount of times it mutates, because if it mutates out of control, it turns into cancer. And basically, NAD keeps the SIRT1 gene active so that it can modulate the transcription process, if that makes sense.
Okay, so those genes are specifically responsible for the whole replication of DNA. Or like they have regulated anything.
One aspect of your genes, a small subset.
Okay.
Not everything at all. Your genes there's thousands and thousands, 20,000 genes. So this is just a small population of them.
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting the feeling that you just touched on like the tip of an iceberg that would take like a very, very, very long time to understand.
Yeah. NAD is one of the more complex subjects to just casually discuss.
Yeah.
Okay,
I don't want to bore you guys.
You're all good, man. I've been taking it for like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 months now, dude. And I would say like my energy levels have went up a lot. I do feel a lot better. I've been able to, I think, put on more mass. And the thing about me is most of the time when I work out, I'm always tired because I work 12 hours and then I go to the gym. So you're talking about long days, and I'm talking about after 12 hours, then I go and work out for like 2.5. So for me, I feel the difference from before I was taking it to when I was taking it. I just feel a lot better overall. I don't think it's placebo or whatnot. And I've gotten, I don't know, I just feel better as overall. Especially if I'm like hungover and I take NMN, my hangover kind of goes away a lot faster. I've heard David Sinclair talk about that as well. He talks about the what it does to the mitochondria or whatnot versus drinking or whatnot. But yeah, that's on NMN. Leon, you there?
Yeah, I am here.
Hey, you ready, Leon?
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah. So, how's your dream coming along, Mercer?
Oh, how's my dream coming along? Man, I forgot all about it until you just brought it up, You know me, I don't remember shit. My dream, I don't know. I was going to talk to you about that because I know you do pretty good with dream analysis.
I do, yeah. I like dream analysis.
Essentially what happened was I watched the movie. Basically, whenever I have a dream, I watch it from an outside perspective. And what I was watching was two guys work really hard, build a business. None of them have children. One of them have like an outside affair early in his life that came back, and she had a kid, so he was kind of happy about it. But then the other guy didn't, and like they finally taught his daughter how to run the business. She was really good, so it was finally time for them to start living. The guy decided to move. He went into a hotel. The hotel got robbed, and he ran into the kitchen. When the robber was leaving, she decided to go through the kitchen and she stabbed him, and it's quite sad. And at this point, Leon's like, "What the fuck?" At this point, for some reason, I was teleported down, and I was just so angry. I don't know why. I was just super angry, and I took the knife and I killed the person myself, in a fit of rage. So I mean, what I learned about that was that you never know when your time is coming. People think they know their time a lot more than people think, but that clock that you have is invisible, and you never know when that sand is running out. But on a deeper level, I feel like that was more my FI inferior coming out, because it's actually responsible for a lot of things that I accomplish in my life. Everything is kind of deeply rooted into my anger or hatred for things. The more I hate something, the more I am more motivated to do it. I hate being in a powerless position, and that's the reason why I continue to work out the way I do. I hate not having things, and that's the reason why it motivates me to continue to get things in the physical world. So I think that was more my FI inferior letting me know that what you have is because of me, and don't ever forget it. So
nice. I like it. So yeah, because so your introvert feeling has been a very vital part of you. I remember you mentioning that you were concerned that introvert feeling gets in the way, but actually it's been supportive the whole time, or even driving you. So the whole way.
But Leon, what was your goals for last month?
Yeah, my goals for last month is to get rid of my traveler's diarrhea.
That's a good
like
goal.
A major issue. I know. It's like a noble goal is like up there with like the things that Jesus does. I mean the diarrhea is like I'm living in Peru now. I've been here for 3 months. But I've been eating better, eating healthier. So I think it's getting much better here. Or in there,
I've heard about when you go to different countries or whatnot, you can't eat their food or whatnot because it will like destroy your stomach.
That's happened.
Stop eating those hot dogs off the side of the road, Leon.
The other thing is like I really want to. I always had this dream about going abroad and just like, or going somewhere else and just making friends. And even if it's like for a short term, because I tend to be like very focused on long-term friendships or a long-term relationship kind of stuff, but like just kind of like having like people who I'm only here for like 3 months, right? But I like just like really hit it off with them and just have like a good time, knowing that later on I won't like of course we could talk with each other through the internet, right? I've been working on when I'm making. So my new challenge with making, in terms of my MBTI channel, is to go like further into depth, kind of like Mercer's dream, like something that's like deeply, like not like everything, just like very far away from the surface level. Like I want to capture like a whole different level of typology. It's kind of like what Mercer is saying. So like you would traditionally you'll think extrovert thinking strongest and introvert feeling the weakest, but in like the shadow realm, like when we're like during the nighttime, it's like flipped for everybody. It's like the other way around. So I'm trying to like capture like what's happening there. So I recently made a video about like the wholesome and badass version of every type.
You didn't post it in the group, Leon. Well, what are you doing?
Post it. I should post it.
Yeah, you should have posted, Leon. I didn't see it, man.
Right.
You're not YouTube dude.
So basically, every type appears like 2 other types, and the more like your type appears like one of the versions, it looks more like the wholesome version of your type. So like for me, I'm an INFP, and the types that I will look most like is ISFJ and INTJ. So the more I go to the ISFJ direction, the more wholesome I look. The more I go into INTJ direction, the more badass I look. And you look at INFPs, it's often that this case, they look either like one way or the other. And every type has like a version of this. So basically, it's like your type. If you
like Robert Greene.
Well, I didn't read his stuff, so I have no idea. But I'm happy to be associated with him because I know that you like his work. So
Yeah. A lot of people thought he was an INTJ, but he's really INFP. It's kind of.
I think he's an INTP.
No way, dude.
Visually, he looks like it. I type people in a very superficial way, but I trust how I type. It's just basically
he's
I
INFP, dude.
Like.
Listen to him. He sounds like you. He sounds like you. Like seriously, if you watch his videos, you'll understand. He's very into listening to people. ISTPs will dumb zone the shit out of you. Like if you say something stupid, they're done. Like Christian, Ali knows Christian, and what is your name again? Adam knows Christian too. And Christian will literally, he's ISTP. The second you say something stupid, he's done with the conversation. Okay, I'm not even kidding you. Robert Greene is not that. You know, you can say stupid stuff. He will accept what you say, and he will not bash you. But Christian, you say something stupid, he's checking out. You know, he's done talking to you. But what are your goals for this month?
Well, to kind of explain these concepts more, so like kind of like talk about, because I think it's like kind of just getting into depths of typology. So like I think like when you go into typology more, you notice certain kind of patterns that kind of follow Taoist principles of light and dark, but like at many different levels and layers, and I want to be able to basically capture that. So I believe that all the types basically live in some sort of, they have a certain kind of equilibrium between all the functions. So like on a surface level, like certain functions look stronger than others, but at a deeper level, they kind of all like equal out. Is like, but I guess like in my channel, I'm gonna get into this at a deeper level. So, but yeah, if you're interested, I'm gonna post that video about the wholesome badass version of, like basically what your type is. So it's interesting because like you basically, when you take up the badass version, you're kind of like more exciting and more interesting and seem to have more depth, but you're also like disintegrating at the same time. And then like the wholesome version, people feel like you're like better adapted to society, but then there's also like, it kind of feels like you're like suppressing your own personality a bit. So, but and I'm working on some writing, just writing more spontaneously too, just like more flow to it. Some things I've been working on. I've been creating a support group for artists who are affected by artificial intelligence. So I think like artificial intelligence definitely has a positive role, but like I think one issue is, so people talk about how artificial intelligence or like technology is inevitable, and I definitely agree with that. Technology is inevitable, but like the culture around technology and what we do with it is not inevitable. It really depends. Like technology will always reflect what our current psychology is. Like if we build stuff, if we have an unhealthy psychology, we'll build stuff that is going to be detrimental and harmful to society and humanity. But then if we have like the right mindset, then we'll build things that are positive. So these are themes I want to write about in my writing, and I'm getting together people to talk about like just basically how AI could be like ethically applied in a way that I think it's so far it's not like basically how they've been running it. They're not doing it in that kind of way. So I want to be able to address that. And I'm also putting together a book. It's basically a compilation of articles I've written on mental health and well-being. And that's basically it. So I'm gonna hopefully put out that book this year sometime. So you mentioned there was somebody who created an ebook, right? And what's her name?
Her name is Cynthia Payne.
Cynthia?
Yeah,
Cynthia Payne.
She's very helpful. Just message her. She will definitely help you. I mean, she knows step by step. She wrote the book on shit. I can't remember. My memory's fucking terrible, man. But she has a book on red pill, on lifting the layers on it. So it's a really good. It's a really good book. It has a lot of the data, statistics, and facts behind a lot of the red pill stuff that's not true. So yeah, just ask her, man. She's very thorough, very thorough. You know, Christian.
Yo, what's good?
Yo, you missed it, man.
I missed what? What
Yo,
I missed?
they were going at each other here. It was crazy, bro. It was pure chaos.
About what?
That fucking manosphere shit, man. You know that shit gets people fucking fired up. But Leon, do you what do you think are things we can improve in the group?
Oh, I feel like I need to know the group better to be able to say, I'm a perceiving type, so I just have to collect a lot of data before, I say something in, probably after 100 years.
You said maybe after 100 years. Yeah,
it's gonna be like it'll be right on target.
Yeah.
That J side will finally come out.
I wish you
I'll take 100 years.
I wish you did the group meetups on a fucking Thursday or Friday, man. Your
Thursday
emotional
or Friday?
Yeah, I'm off on those days. Tuesdays I'm always fucking working, and you have it right at 7. That's like right when I have to be at
right
work.
At 7:30. Yeah, that's where my groups are right now.
Yeah. How are they going?
They're going great.
What happened to Dion? Where's Dion?
Bro, he's coming back. He said he had to do something, but he's coming back later.
I like how someone's a square.
Who's a square?
It's like that's their name. This is like a rectangle.
Yeah. But let's get on to the next person. Ali, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Let me turn on my camera.
Huh?
My webcam is connected to like a USB hub that just keeps switching and I keep going from my work laptop and personal. That's what my camera's on.
Yeah, well, there we go. All right, Ali, what was your goals for last month, and did you accomplish them?
Goals for last month was just getting back in the gym and getting in better shape.
You said what?
Getting back in the gym and getting in better shape.
Yeah. Did you accomplish it?
I signed up for this thing called Vegan Gym. I mentioned it in the Mongo. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. You signed up for a vegan gym.
Your mic is bad.
Yeah, you sound like you're far away.
Okay.
You signed up for a vegan gym. I saw you post that earlier. What the hell's a vegan gym?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
It's basically an online program of coaches, and they only do training for other vegans. And they went ahead and set me up with this one coach who knows what he's actually doing. He's a guy who deadlifts 600 pounds. You gotta know what the fuck he's doing. Came up with an actual plan and for food and working out. And it works around the fact that I have every time I start. The reason I did this is every time I start getting back in the gym, within 3 weeks, I always end up with a fucked up elbow or the back is too fucked up to continue working out. Christian was recommending stuff from knees over toes guys for mobility of your knees.
Yep.
And
hey,
some other stuff.
Ali, before that, I'm gonna say DK knows a lot about inflammatory supplements. He recommended one of them for me. I started taking it. Kat, you want to talk about any supplements? Because he had a whole bunch of problems with his joints, and now he's actually doing really good.
Wait, so one question. So before you go into that, what? It's a vegan gym, so that what they do a diet plan based on vegan.
Yeah, and there's a whole community of vegans. They're all just positive mindset, encouraging each other. It's kind of like how Mongolian mindset is something that Mercer is trying to create, so that we all have a community of people trying to make each other better. There's that, but for vegans and vegan gym, or trying to get in better shape, have a positive mindset, and it goes into other aspects as well. Because again, it's not just working out; it's also mindset. Yeah, does that answer your question?
Yeah, kind of. I guess. Yeah.
All right, Kat, what do you recommend?
Before I go into that, how long have you been a vegan?
3 years, 3 months.
3 years?
3 years, 3 months, yeah.
Okay, and you don't eat dairy, correct?
No.
Yeah. I grew up a vegan vegetarian, so sometimes people oh yeah, I'm vegan, but they're actually vegetarian, so I just wanted to clarify. And are you aware of the deficiencies of the vegan diet?
the deficiencies. There's B12, which like normally B12 supplements are given to livestock, and then people eat the animals, and so that's how they normally get B12. Vegans don't have that, so they get a B12 supplement. There's other people like there's all these carnivore grifters online saying, "Oh, you're not getting taurine and blah blah blah," when it's a non-essential nutrient that the body creates anyways. I mean, if you have a deficiency, that's a different story. But yeah, what were you gonna bring up specifically?
Yeah, I was just going to cover all the bases to make sure you're sufficient in those. B12 is the obvious one, the low-hanging fruit, but also choline is another high one that you're probably not aware of. Choline is really important for neurotransmitter development and acetylcholine. So you want to make sure you're covering that. Obviously your protein requirements, especially if you're working out,
I'm getting 140 grams a day, so that should be enough, right? For someone who weighs about 168 pounds, right?
Yeah, that's really impressive for being a vegan. I would suggest if you're eating any like protein powder, plant-based or whatnot, to incorporate a digestive enzyme so that you can absorb that protein. Because you're probably not even absorbing, 50 to 60% of that, to be honest with you.
But I've never heard of anything.
Just because, like, what are you getting your protein from? Legumes or nuts?
Yeah, so like tofu, and then I think the protein powder has like rice protein, pea protein, some other plant sources of protein.
Yeah, so if you're getting most of your protein from tofu is extremely malabsorbed. It has something in it that actually blocks the absorption of calcium and other micronutrients. I forget the name; it's not on the top of my head. So you want to be aware of that. If you're getting it from tempeh, that's a form of soybean. Just depends on the maturation of the tempeh. The more mature the tempeh, the better. If it has fungus on it, that's the best kind you want to get. And then obviously your legumes, the insoluble fiber of your legumes, inhibits digestive enzymes and whatnot. So
I want to stop you for a second. So like all of this stuff sounds it sounds like you're going off the idea that when I became vegan, these problems probably started happening afterwards, because all these problems you're describing would be a result of eating most of my protein from tofu and stuff. I had these problems when I was almost carnivorous. Like I think Christian remembers like back in the day. Huh?
I'm not aware of any of your problems at the moment.
Well, the ones that I just described about joint pains. And okay, that's right. You're talking about generally. Okay.
Yeah. I haven't even asked you what your symptoms are yet. I was doing something else. I heard joint pain, but that's
I've seen any problem with that. I haven't had any other issues. Like if I had absorption, like protein deficiency or something, I think I'd have way more of it. I think I would have developed more problems than like the ones that have been pre-existing since I was like almost carnivorous. So, I'll look into this stuff that you're suggesting to me. Like you just suggesting to me.
These are just unrelated, just so we're covering all our health parameters. It's not really related to your symptoms at all just yet. But in terms of your symptoms, if you want to go directly into it, collagen would probably be the biggest thing. You're not getting collagen in your diet. Things that can help collagen are your NAC, your glycine, your cysteine amino acids, so foods that have those in them.
Glycine primarily. Is part of the 9 essential amino acids you're talking about? Or what are these?
Glycine is an amino acid, yes, but you're probably getting low amounts of it. So these are the building blocks to build your collagen. And if you're having joint pains, there's two sides. There's the actual structure of the joint, which is like your cartilage, your ligaments, your tendons. But then there's the inflammation after your workout. So it could be one of the two things. If you're eating a lot of sugar in your vegan diet, like a lot of fruits and a lot of fructose and stuff like that, you could be having an inflammatory response to this to maybe lessen your sugar intake. But also it could be structural. So if you had it before the diet, and you were not eating a sufficient amount of, red meat or things with collagen, you could have over time chronically be, having lower levels of the building blocks to build your collagen, which is a vital aspect of your joints. But what I recommended to Mercer is Cissus quadratus, the staple that I take almost for the last 6 years. It increases fibroblasts, which are the builders of your cartilage. It modulates cortisol, which is your stress hormone that you probably know much about. And so it modulates all these things so that it creates the environment so that it can foster a repairing environment for your joints. And then obviously there's the glucosamine, chondroitin, and MSN complex that all work synergistically together, that also builds your ligaments, your tendons, and your joint tissue as well. So I usually couple those two together, Cissus quadratus with a complex of glucosamine, MSM, and chondroitin, which are beneficial for a vegan as well, because you don't have the glucosamine or MSM primarily in your diet too much. So it's good it helps blood sugar control and all those things like that too. So at the very least, I don't want this to be like a session of just supplements, but
I love supplements.
DK, are you a doctor or what?
No.
I saw something about this is an interesting study. Like they recently had a study. They had identical twins who are like really athletic, and then I think it was like 3 months or so. One went on a vegan diet and one went on a regular diet with meat and vegetables.
I saw
and they exercised exactly the same way. Mm-hmm. And then the vegan was healthier on a whole number of measures,
right?
Except like the person who kept the regular diet with meat, he built more muscle mass, as well as he had more diversity in his gut and bacteria diversity, which is healthy to have, where the vegan had less. And then afterwards, they both conclude that they still wanted to adopt certain aspects of the vegan diet. They felt like it was useful to them.
Yeah. And to add to that, just to be really clear, every single diet has deficiencies. So there's the carnivore diet, the elimination diet, paleo diet, Mediterranean diet, vegan diet, vegetarian, all of them have deficiencies. And it's very particular to your genetics would be the first step that I would recommend a diet for someone to stick to for the course of their life. But if you're talking about longevity and anti-aging, there's ample amount of evidence that suggests that veganism is the way to go, or even Mediterranean if you don't want to be so disciplined and regimented with your life. The Mediterranean diet would be, the way to go with that because it has the fish in there.
Yeah, the other thing I want to mention is I remember from the studies the vegan had more constant energy levels. So the person who did not go on a vegan diet, his energy went up and down more.
It's probably glucose.
More crashes.
It's probably glucose.
Probably less insulin spike too.
Yeah, if you keep it.
Commentary about fish though, since like the ocean has essentially become humanity's industrial toilet, and you can get mercury and other chemicals from basically whatever bioaccumulates in the fat of fish. Like, would you recommend like taking like an algae oil supplement for like DHA, or do you recommend eating like actual fish for like let's say an omnivorous person that eats everything and not under any dietary restrictions?
Right. You bring up a good point, and that's a often argued point is the toxicity of the animal that you're eating. But it's all nuanced, just even if you're eating like a cattle, you don't want to get industrial cattle, you want to get grass-fed cattle. Same with fish. I mean, it's realistic in terms of your budget, really, but in terms of your question, if if I was to recommend fish, I wouldn't recommend like salmon every week, you know, and I would especially not recommend farmed fish. I would always opt for wild fish, but fish in certain locations, smaller fish like your mackerel and your sardines would be my primary go-to fish because they have lesser mercury content, you know, per capita. So, but for a vegan, I would even recommend like ALA or flaxseed to get your omegas, you know. So flaxseed would be a good one. Chia seed would be even superior to flaxseed. I've seen some research on estrogenic side effects from flaxseed. So I would probably opt for chia seed oil or chia seed. That would be the best form. But even microalgae and astaxanthin or something like that would be something I would recommend a vegan.
Yeah, for me, like since I'm trying to keep calorie intake low, I'm just taking like a DHA supplement straight from algae. So instead of having like chia seeds, instead get converted into DHA and EPA. You have
a pretty sound train of thought, so I would support that.
Yeah. Damn, Catch, man, you like a fucking PhD in that shit. Fucking nuts, man.
I'm just gonna be spending a lot of time like looking into this.
Yeah, he's my go-to, man. I go, yo, Catch, man, what do you think about resveratrol? He's like, hey, man, you need to stop drinking. I'm like, yo, all right, we already know I'm not gonna stop drinking. So tell me what the fuck I want to know.
It's like you're taking all these supplements, and it's like, you know, you have to look at the world as the Pareto's principle, the 80-20 rule. You know, what are you going to do with 20% of your energy to get 80% of your results? So the thing that you can do the least is stop drinking, and you'll get 80% of your results just from stop drinking. You'll probably lose like 10 pounds of body fat. Your insulin will be better sensitive, you know, and all these supplements will actually work. Right now, you're staving off the damage. All you're doing is staving off the damage of the alcohol, you know. So
right now.
It's a catch-22.
You have to let Mercer's SC live, though.
Yeah, I know, bro.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
but it's a double-edged sword because there's the pleasure of alcohol and the pleasure of sociability and the pleasure of, you know, relaxing and decompressing. But then there's also the next day you wake up and feel like shit. So
you do feel like shit, man. I ain't gonna lie, but
hey, Mercer,
what's up?
Mercer, what do you drink when you go out? What exactly do you? What kind of what do you?
Woo! What don't I drink? It's what you should say. the drunker I get, the more I'm likely to drink anything. Matter of fact, they got a drink named after me.
So, no, I have a point to this question.
Okay.
Do you drink white liquor, dark liquor?
Man,
wine,
it don't even fucking matter.
Serve
that shit up. Like
everything in a mix.
We drink all. Like let's say everybody comes to my house on Fridays and fucking we drink vodka, and then we go to the bar, and the bars have a drink named after me, and that shit has tequila in it, and we be fucking slopping the motherfuckers down left and right. Okay, we be out there.
So in the essence of me being a little bit older than you and have been through the gambit of alcohol, and I had an issue with white liquor. Do me a favor, and when you go out or do your thing, try just having like dark, like for instance, brandy or whiskey. I'm more of a brandy person nowadays, but when I changed to that, I had way less alcohol issues. When my best friend used to drink gin, or she still does, I had a really hard time. I get fucked up real fast when I drink gin, but when I drink like brandy and Coke, brandy and Dr. whatever, it doesn't affect me like that. So maybe try, and just humor me, try just drinking dark liquor and see if that changes how you're affected. It still gives you a nice, you know, buzz, but it's not making you you're still in control of yourself in a sense, if that makes sense.
We always in control. We always in control.
That's not gonna happen.
Oh, really?
Add to that. So there's a molecule in different alcohols, you know, compared to light liquor to dark liquor, and some people genetically are predisposed to certain I guess it's the impurities of the distillation process, and some people are predisposed to certain kinds of alcohol. So you technically could react better to darker than lighter. But if we're talking about genetically longevity, you know, you want to stick to lighter alcohol that are more purified, and you typically want something with a lime or something with bitters, which will help digestive enzymes.
Wait, hold on. Brandy is distilled red wine.
If the weekend comes and I'm worried about what
wine is the most toxic alcohol.
I'm not going out. Point blank, period. What's the point of worrying about what liquor I'm drinking? I'm going out to be free, not worry about like, oh, I need to have dark versus white.
Right, you're an SP, but I'm saying someone like me, when I would go out, I want to still stay in control of myself. Even if I drank, I was still the designated driver, so
oh no! Oh dude. No. Cause you ain't in no control when them cop locks start flying. Whoop, 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 whoop.
So when I drink dark liquor, I can stay in control. I'm still having fun. I'm still able to get that buzz and have fun, but I'm not, the next morning I'm not having hangovers and feeling like crap and all that other,
So I got like Pedialyte. I got Pedialyte I got a box of 100 Pedialyte. I take that motherfucker before I even go out. I take that bitch when I get home, and I got enemy ready. Catch already gives me enough hell about drinking.
Salt water.
Hey.
Drink a different electrolyte blend. Pedialyte has too much sugar.
What?
Yeah, I do salt water.
Listen, if you're worrying about how much sugar there is in Pedialyte, you got some other issues. Okay, that's
not worried, just conscious.
Bro, that's too much. It's like
I just avoid it.
It's like I was talking to somebody. She's like, "Oh, I have stevia instead of Splenda," and I'm like, "Okay, but do you eat processed meats though?" And she's like, "Yeah." Then why are you worrying about stevia versus Splenda?
Well, we actually Catch actually had a study the other day. I think it was Splenda or stevia causing. What was it causing? Catch? I don't remember.
It was erythritol was correlated to a higher stroke rate. So there's correlation, but they were probably testing obese people with bad habits, erythritol and sugar in their blood. There was a correlation.
I just think it's a bunch of diminishing returns. It's like stevia versus Splenda. Who cares? Like I was like, if you had Splenda your whole life, what do you think would happen versus if you had stevia? She's like, I don't know. I'm like, exactly. So why are you worried about it?
Yeah.
Like, it just gets to be too much, It's just like you said, like 80-20 rule. Like Mercer's worrying about all these supplements, but he's drinking every week. It's like,
hey, buddy. Hey, what we're not gonna do is talk about Mercer drinking, okay? Because hey, your ass come down here. You the first thing you want to do is you more of an alcoholic than me.
I don't even drink no more.
Now you don't drink anymore, but I swear to God, you can't put a beer around Christian. I'm telling you, that boy coming here. I'm like, Christian, bro, it's a Monday, bro. Bro, I just had to have a beer, bro. I'm like, bro, you are tweaking. Oh, I come out the other day. It's a Tuesday. Christian popped the beer, bro. What are you doing, bro? Like, if we ain't going out, I'm not drinking. Christian over here just drinking beers on a regular day.
Bro, that was 2017.
Bro, that was no 2017, bitch. All right.
Still going back to 2017.
No, I ain't going back to shit. I know you personally.
Anyways, I'm not even judging you on the drinking. I'm judging you on like how anal you are about supplements. I think it's a waste of time.
Bro, I'm anal. Hey, man.
Just get the good ones. Like, if you have creatine, NMN, or whatever, okay, fine. But you're like, bro, you have a stack so large. It's like you have a pharmacy in your house.
Yeah, I do. I do have a pharmacy in my house.
It's extreme, bro. It's extreme.
Hey, bro, I'm a very extreme person, okay? It's all or nothing here. But, yeah. Who we on? We were on Ali. Ali, what do you think we should give me something you think we can do to improve the group?
I'll be honest, I don't really read most of the posts, but from what I did read, a lot of times people go off sources that are not primary. And then I really like what you did one time when, in terms of the typology stuff, you actually went and read Linda's book, the one who actually came up with all of this stuff. And then it came up with lots of things that sort of just answered a lot of the things that people debated about. An example of that is how apparently apparently everyone can display all 16 different personality types depending on the situation. And people have, like, I guess, a primary, but apparently everyone has all 16 of them to some extent and can express all of them to some extent. And, I think that having that context in mind helps when it comes to those, like, discussions of it. Mm-hmm. And all of that happens when you just go ahead and, like, you take in the primary source where this stuff came from. So, I mean, I think, again, I don't look at the group too much, but, like, I think incorporating primary sources as your, like, as the main source of information in your information diet is probably the way to go. And that's really the only feedback I have. Yeah, that's it. Nothing else.
Okay.
Incorporate primary sources?
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
So, like Dario Nardi, Linda Behrens, that type of stuff. He doesn't like people jaring off from that, which I agree with.
I think Mercer does that already, though.
Yeah, I already do that.
He does, and that's why I said, like, as an example, that's, like, a good thing, and I think that should be incorporated more by, people when they bring up, like, a topic, like, they go into the primary source to educate yourself about it. I was gonna make an analogy. So, like, if you go ahead and read someone else's synopsis, it's kind of like a movie. The information just gets, like, transformed and distorted. Mm-hmm. And you don't actually have a clear view anymore. So,
yeah, we need to keep that T.I. Hero truth going, huh, buddy? Yeah, we know. INTP.
Typology is so metaphysical that even the primary source can be, like, there's no data attached to it. So it's like, what are you going to get from the primary source?
I mean, if you're going to go into that point, you're going into the conclusion that I came up with, which is that
that's all bullshit.
Nah, man. I mean, if you break it down, let's say, for instance, someone like yourself is INTP, bro, you're going to come up with that type of answer. Like, I can already, if I know your personality type, I know you can come up with that type of answer, right? I know that Catch is an ENTP, right? So if I go to Catch and I start asking, I'm like, Catch, I read this in this source, and he gonna say, what's the test? What's the studies? What were they studying? He's gonna try to rip through whatever study you have and be like, bro, this shit's not valid. James, my brother's gonna do the same thing. Like, he's gonna do the same thing. If you bring him a source, he's gonna try to shred it, And that's what ENTPs do. So, like, knowing someone's personality type, you learn a lot about them. Like, you see Dion or whatnot, me and him act so similar that people thought I was Dion. Like, you can't make this shit up, Jordan Thomas.
Yeah, I mean, biggest question I have about this, and I can't, like, this is a question. I don't have an answer to it, but I didn't look into it. But, like, you know how we all are in agreement that horoscope is bullshit, right?
Yes.
But people, when they get, like, it was just a talk show or whatever, but, like, random horoscopes were given to people. Had nothing to do with their actual birthday. They read it and they're like, oh wow, I see all the similarities that, like, this is exactly me, but it was entirely randomized. So, like, I'm wondering if there's a similar effect going on.
The same thing, bro. It's all cognitive bias. Is all it is.
Suggestibility.
But my thing is, if it helps you, I take the same approach that I do with religion. It's like, bro, if it helps you, and, like, you're getting benefit from it, do it. Okay.
I disagree. I disagree because me and Christian don't think the same. Me and Christian are two different type of people. We don't think the same, and it's not even close. Me and Ali, me and you, we don't think the same. Me and Catch, we don't think the same. Me and Jordan, we think more of similar to each other.
Bro, you and Dion don't think the same.
We do think the same.
No, you don't.
Bro, do you not see what he posts?
You're using cognitive bias. You're seeing the similarities. You're like, oh, we're the same person. You're not, bro.
Bro, it was so similar that you thought that he was me on a fake account.
I thought it was you because he's spamming the group. That's what you do when you get on Charles Dewberry. You just spam the group. So I'm like, okay, that's Mercy.
Nah, bro.
Yeah, can you invite Charles next time? I would love to meet him.
Hey, you can't. Hey, Charles is me, you clown.
I know, but I'm just gonna keep milking the joke. I will say, back to sources. Ali brings up a very good point, but I guess so does Mercer. The thing is with primary sources, you do have to look at the study, you have to look at how it's conducted, and you have to look at who is funding it. I mean, in psychology, a lot of it's just working theory, to be honest. They're probably a few years away from getting things like brain scans and more funding for it to actually get more solid studies. But even a lot of these scientific studies, when the funding comes from places that are incentivized by a certain outcome, which is most often the case, that can really there's very few pure primary sources. And that's the problem. So I guess I would say, take everything with a grain of salt. And even that, like I used to work at one of the big universities in the Midwest, and you think they're the best and brightest, but I mean, most people are just people. Like they're just people doing a job, and sometimes they find good conclusions, and sometimes they overstretch their conclusions based on kind of okayish evidence. So I mean, I guess I would just say take it all with a grain of salt. Keep questioning.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, if it helps you, it helps you, because at the end of the day, like personality and social skills and all that stuff, it's like it flows. Like there's ebbs and flows to it. It's very like metaphysical type of stuff. There's no like concrete data. So like if you want to go off the MBTI pattern to help you socially, then that's fine. Do it. I'm not gonna stress about it. Now, don't tell me it's like a science. Don't tell me this is like, yes, this person is exactly like this. I can determine what he's gonna do and say.
There is science to astrology.
There's science in there, but it's not,
I think what you can do is what you kind of learn someone's personality. You can kind of see the lens that they're coming through, or what they're seeing life through, and that's a very important thing. Like if I'm dealing with someone like Christian or Ali or Ketch, I know that things that you say have to make logical sense no matter what it is. It has to make logical sense. And the second that doesn't make logical sense, they're out. They're checking out. So that helps a lot. When you're talking to somebody like Leon is just going to listen to you. He's going to listen to you and actively respond to you. So depending on the person, you can learn a lot about what they're good at, what makes them feel comfortable, how they see things. Because a lot of times what people actually do is they project their strengths on the other people and use that against them. They'll say, why don't you get this? Or why don't you understand this? Or why you ain't moving fast? Or why you ain't successful? And that'll be somebody kind of projecting what they're good at. They're good at TE and TI, which are logical and being effective, outside sources and whatnot. They'll project that onto people and say, well, why aren't you good at this? Why aren't you fast? Why aren't you successful? Why are you a fucking loser? Why are you wasting all this fucking time? I can get into that mode. You know me.
I think that's a good point, because that just made me think that even if MBTI had cognitive bias, it mitigates other cognitive biases, because we have the cognitive bias to think that everyone should think like us. So MBTI is like kind of like a neutralizer, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
It helps you accept that other people think differently.
Mm-hmm.
And in that case, then it's positive. I agree with that. But the reason I kind of, put it in the same realm as a religion is because of the same thing that Ali was talking about. Like, you need to incorporate primary sources. There are really none. There's no like real concrete data. So basically, you go off faith. You go off faith that the system is what it is. Like it's true, that it works. So essentially, it's a religion, in my opinion.
It reminds me of The Life of Pi, that movie.
I love.
Have you seen it? Life of Pi? Yeah.
Yes, I love that movie. Richard
I
Parker.
agree with Christian. I pretty much agree with everything he said. The one in particular I want to comment on is like, if it helps you, go for it. If it helps you, like it looks like the 16 personalities system is defining like different character, like a spectrum of characteristics that people can have. And if you wouldn't have recognized, like, hey, this person has a set of characteristics that they generally lean towards, and like you just knowing about more information about that, and it kind of helps you like understand them and interact with them. Whatever, go for it. It sounds like that's the case for you personally. Like it helps you.
Yeah, it helps me a lot, man. It helps me understand people like my older brother. Being an ENTP, it helps me understand why he gets more out of giving than I do. Throughout my entire life, I always wondered why he would sacrifice his own stuff for me, and he would actually be happy about it. And then deep in the inside, it made me kind of like, yo, what the fuck? I wouldn't be so happy. It makes sense why he would let's say if we went to a tournament or something, and we only had enough money for me to eat. My brother would be happy with me eating and him not eating. to me that was very appalling. I was like, very, very, very appalling. But that's, huh?
You talking about Laris right now?
Yeah.
Laris?
Yeah, that was very appalling to me, and that's because he has Effie child. You know, he really cares about giving to other people, and he gets relief from doing that. Or like he could buy a whole bunch of candy, and I'll just walk over there and snatch it and start eating it, and he'll start cussing me out. But on a different side, he's kind of happy about me eating it. You know, it's crazy as that, and that explains why he would get something from it. Are you the same way, Catch?
I can relate to that.
Yeah, see? Like a lot of people, a lot of you motherfuckers, man, he'll run your mouth about fucking typology and be like, oh, it's not true. But I'm telling you, I've seen it. If I'm a motherfucker who works off what works. If that shit don't work, I don't fuck with it, okay? If I test your shit out and it don't work, Mercer's done with it. And I'm going to tell you something. If it works, I'm going to use it, you know? It is what it is, and I might exploit it. I might do some evil shit with it too sometimes. You know, you just got to forgive me. But, I've learned that shit from even like it was a girl I was with last week. She was an INTJ. I already knew that shit was going to blow up. Guess what happened the next day? That shit blew up because we got in a competition between like my vision and her vision. And I'm just like, yo, I'm not going to compromise my vision. Bye. But I already knew that was going to happen because I knew about typology. And I can explain why that happened. But before typology, I would just be like, oh, I'm in the dark about it, you know? I'm in the dark about it.
I have a question for you.
The thing is, like, hold on.
Get your fucking point out.
I want to expand on what Mercer just said. So I think the reason typology is so appealing to Mercer is because before typology, it was hard for him to kind of see the world through other people's lens. It was always through his lens. It's like he just kind of associated what he thought and what he could do to other people, or whatever. And for the first time, there was a book about how to kind of explain how other people think or whatever. Even if the book might be false, true, or whatever, it was the first time there's like, okay, there is this lens that I can use now.
Yeah,
to
it's not,
look at other people.
I'm going to ask my question. I see what you're saying, Christian. I want to ask, like, so, this example of like your brother being selfless and sacrificing for himself to give to you, and that matching in personality type, and this is like, oh, this is a situation that aligns with the personality type.
Essentially, hey Ali, essentially like you, it's very hard for you to get out of your comfort zone. You're an INTP. It's gonna be virtually like you almost never want to go outside your comfort zone. You always gonna have a battle with your comfort zone. You're dealing with an INTP. That's what you got to deal with. Okay. Once you know someone's personality type, you can, and they're like, "Oh shit, you know that about me?" Like, yeah, you're gonna always be in your comfort zone. Comfort is like number one for you.
Oh, everyone likes comfort, but
everyone likes comfort, but to a different degree.
I like to mention about something about. So, like, one thing I'll give you an analogy to you, Ali, is because you're an INTP, I'm an INFP, right? So something that might feel very foreign to us. So we have something called expert sensing polar. So maybe like, you know, some people who act really impulsively and they're not like measured in their response or how they act. So we might be very much taken aback by that. And we think it's hard to see like where they're coming from. It's like, we're like, why are you like doing things so like unthinking and so like impulsively? But you learn about typology, people think fundamentally in different ways. And INFP and INTP will be the types that will be most conflicted by people who are impulsive and not measured in how they go about things. So it kind of like opens up your world because you just see how fundamentally different people act, and you can actually see the value in it. Like why do they act differently like that?
Like when it comes to the 16 personality types, like those characteristics you just described, like the personality types would be like, hey, these are the personality types that have these attributes. And it's like you're trying to bin all of 8 billion humans into 16 sets of attributes that they have, right? And like when Mercer's talking about his brother being like more giving, okay, so that's one of the attributes, self-sacrificing. That's like one of the attributes assigned to his personality type. And it's like, well, I mean, I think I can bet that for every single attribute that's described of Mercer's brother, Mercer, like from his personality type, I bet that Mercer can name a situation where he did the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Like, what was the case where James being selfish, for example? And for me, I'm stereotyped as logical, but there's been times where I've been a lot.
It's like degrees, though. It's like you're going to be like 90% logical, and someone else is going to be like, ESFP is going to be like 10% logical.
And that is exactly what Christian would call cognitive bias. When you don't exactly count the number of times you were logical, you don't exactly count the number of times you were illogical, but you're like, I feel like I'm 90% logical. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, I mean, I don't know.
Quantifiable. It's not quantifiable. It's a bunch of muddled BS. But like I said,
Maybe TE thinks it's
helps you,
quantifiable.
do it. Bro. If it helps you and it works, do it.
I think there's too much TI there for you guys, buddy. I think I mean,
It's a tool.
it's a tool to be used.
So there's some cases where it's going to be useful. There's other cases not going to be useful. I mean, not every tool fixes every situation, you know.
Right.
And sometimes your tools get damaged, or sometimes you twist the wrench the wrong way. But it's just a tool or strategy map for the TE users that you can use. But we're also human, so the idea that we're going to have perfect understanding or perfect interpretation is probably far-fetched, even in most situations. We're doing the best with basically the knowledge and experience that we can fathom based on how we're built.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
You TI users, you better back the fuck up. Me and Jordan will get you motherfuckers, okay? Me and Jordan will handle you. We'll handle you, motherfuckers.
It happens in like every ideology. Because if you notice, like the manosphere stuff has a bunch of like pseudoscience bullshit too.
So Christian's on here, and he's ICP too. You sound alike.
I mean,
and so
the manosphere is bro, you can't. The manosphere is just too much, okay? But let's get back to Adam. Adam, are you ready? Dealing with Christian and his fucking nonsense today. I'm about to fucking choke the boy.
Bro,
But you're just a clown, bro. You're just a clown.
I'm a clown.
Go get your goddamn clown shoes, boy.
Hey, I need to be.
Somebody explain Jerry to me. Explain Jerry and his SI trickster to me. Please do. Please explain Jerry and his SI trickster. How Jerry forgets literally everything that you say to him within 30 seconds. Calls me every week with the same damn thing.
There's Jerry, bro.
Jerry's Jerry, bro. And also while simultaneously being one of the biggest simps on the planet.
Biggest what?
Simps on the planet.
Oh shoot.
ENFJ motherfucker. That's what he is. ENFJ.
You notice, but most men are simps, bro.
That's not true. Yeah. Well, Jerry's around, but my thing is Jerry is around me.
It's rare that men are not simps, bro.
Huh?
Like, what are you talking about?
Jerry's around me. He shouldn't be a simp, bro. He should be seeing what really works out here and applying it. But he's not. He's around me, Keith.
That doesn't happen, bro. Most people should learn from other people and change, but they don't. The reality is they don't, bro. It is what it is, you know. You just need to accept that. Just accept it, bro.
Hey, it is what it is. Hey, Adam, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Hey, you know Ali and Christian. These two knuckleheads over here. TI heroes. It's kind of funny. You know, they would agree. But yeah, Adam, what were your goals for last month, and did you accomplish any?
So my goals for last month were to practice professional development more and to get over my plateau at the gym.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely do more professional development now. So that's on track. My coworker sent me some books to read, so I do that in my free time, and I also occasionally go through the eval.org. Sorry, I look up stuff about my field.
Mm-hmm. What's your field?
My field is evaluation.
Evaluation. Okay.
And as for the plateau, I have not gotten over that.
Mm-hmm.
So I do protein, I do creatine. What I don't do is I don't really track my calories, and that's been useful so far. Like, I've been able to keep gaining strength over like the past year and keep going up in weight, but I think the reason for my plateau is I just kind of haven't been eating. I checked it out, and I'm like at approximately 2,350 calories. So I'm bumping that up to 2,600 ish.
How much do you weigh?
I'm at 170 right now.
170. You're like what? 5'9", 5'10"?
5'7" at most.
5'7"? Really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm your height.
170, 5'7". That's a good weight, Adam. That's
good.
A good weight. You probably, you're probably approaching a high percentage where it's gonna take a lot of work to keep getting muscle at that weight and that height, you know. Because 175, 5'7", 170. I'm 175, 5'8". So.
Man, fuck what Christian talking about, man. Keep pushing.
Like 10 years.
Hey,
you know?
Fuck what Christian talking about. Keep pushing, man. Hey, keep pushing.
Keep pushing. What I'm saying is like, you might have to go into that 180 range. Like how's your body fat percentage?
I haven't checked and I don't know how to.
When you look in the mirror, like, do you have abs?
I don't.
Okay, so you still got room then. You still got room, but you might have to increase calories, or maybe do like a mini cut and then bulk back up.
All right, so Adam, what are you trying to do again? Just run down.
Trying to bulk up, get big.
Trying to get big.
Awesome.
How many days are you working out a week?
Do you want to do a cut at some point?
Yeah, how many days? How many days a week are you working out?
6.
6?
So 6 strength training and 2 cardio. Wow.
You doing 6 days and 2 cardio?
So 4 strength, 2 cardio.
Okay. How often are you? What are you training? Like, how long are you in the gym?
Oh, an hour a session.
Hour a session?
Yeah.
Man, that's good though. An hour, 6 days though. 6 days. What's your program? Like, what do you do?
I'll start off with the compound exercises, bench press, and then some back exercise, either pull-ups or rows. And then I'll do the isolation exercises for the shoulders, the arms, triceps, and forearms for upper body days. And then for lower body days, I do squats one day, and then I'll do a deadlift another day. And then after squats, we'll do like the hamstring curl, and after the deadlift, I'll do the quads, because I'm not sure if this is accurate, but I think even though they're both compound exercises, I think squats are more quads than hamstrings, and deadlifts are more hamstrings than quads. So correct me if I'm wrong on that. So I'm trying to do the opposite thing. So I hit all my muscles in one day. Other things for legs are the hip abductor machines, both in and out.
Okay,
and
that's
then I kind of include my midsection in the lower body, so I have exercises for the abs, obliques, and lower back.
How many sets you doing?
4 sets.
4 sets. How many? What's the rep range?
Rep range? I aim for 12. If it's like calves, I'll aim for something more like 15, 16.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Are you going to failure?
What?
Are you going to failure? So when you hit 12, is that the last rep you could possibly do?
It definitely is these days.
Okay. So, are you increasing? Are you increasing weight?
What?
Are you increasing weight like weekly, monthly? What?
I was increasing reps, and whenever I got to 12 reps, I would increase the weight, and I would do this.
Okay, 12 gonna take you fucking forever, dude. 12 gonna take.
I got it.
Okay.
Work out less.
How much less?
It's counterintuitive, but work out less.
Even though I'm only working out an hour?
No, not your intensity, not your duration. Work out less days of the week. So instead of 6 days a week, work out 3 days a week.
It's about body recovery, right?
Instead of doing 2 days of cardio, do 1 day of cardio. But increase the intensity at which you work out. So you can, because right now you're burning too many calories to get bigger. You're expending too much energy. So you have to intake more energy, or you have to expend less energy.
Yeah. I would get rid of one of the cardio days and increase calories. That's what I would do.
Catch, go ahead and finish.
And increase your protein. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with yeah.
I work out tops like 3 times a week. I try to stick to like 2 times a week, but my rest days are 2 days between each time I work out. But the intensity at which I work out is very intense. For 5 sets, heavy weight, really low rest periods between sets.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the intensity at which I work out. So try that.
Damn.
Yeah, it might be worth trying for a month. You can log the results and see if that works better for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you've been doing it, and if you've been doing it for more than 2 or 3 months as like the same program, switch it up. You know, you'll get different results.
How much protein are you getting? You mentioned number of calories, but you're supposed to get like 0.7, 0.9 grams of protein per pound of body fat.
I'm at 0.9 per pound per my weight. So at 170, that puts me at 153.
Damn, man, you on top of it, man. Shit.
Yeah.
I'm over here sitting here back like, damn, man. These what people got to go through. Yeah, I just go in the gym and I just go crazy.
But he learned everything in college. We used to work out all the time. So.
Like I step in the gym.
An hour is too little time. Because we used to work out like a couple hours back in college, but we were younger back then. Man.
Like an hour is too little for me. I'm usually in the gym at least 2 hours. At least, and now I've started doing cardio, so I'm like in the gym like 3 hours. But fuck that. I mean, you gotta figure out what your body is and what works for you. Like me, my split is chest Mondays. It's pure chest. Like I don't touch any other. Like I don't really do any other body part, and it's just chest on Mondays. On Tuesdays, it's back. On Wednesdays, it's shoulders. On Thursdays, it's arms, and on Fridays, it's legs. And the reason why I do legs on Friday, I know you motherfuckers probably thinking, why does he do legs on Friday? It's because Fridays is my first day, like, where I actually get enough sleep to be able to work out, you know, because I'm always working out after work. But on Fridays, I actually sleep like a normal person, so I have a surplus of energy. And on leg days, I just cannot work. I cannot do, like, heavy squats with, like, no sleep. So, but that has gave me the most gains ever out of any other workout, anything, those ones. And I just see it as me maximizing that one muscle group and really getting after that one muscle group. But everybody's different, and we all got different genetics.
It hasn't changed his philosophy since we started working out. He still has the early 2000s bro split mentality.
That's not a bro split, bitch.
Yes, it is.
Bitch, because when we first started working out, we was doing chest, and try. We were doing chest and try, and then back and by. I don't fucking do that shit. Huh?
You don't do no triceps on chest?
No, motherfucker, I just told you that.
You just do chest.
I just told your dumb ass that.
So you do 6 exercises of chest.
Yes, pure chest. It is pure fucking chest. You know this.
And you think people should do that?
I think so. It works. Works fine for me.
Yeah, it works for you.
Works fucking amazing. Okay, it works fucking amazing. But hey, like I said, everybody's different. And you gotta figure out your own body type and what works for you. You know, like it might not work for Christian. I mean, whatever he's doing works for him. Whatever Catch does works for him. I think Catch is probably the most scientific one out of all of us when it comes to it. So, but
what's your name? What is his name?
Catch.
What do you think about doing 6 chest exercises in one day and then going home? What do you think about that?
There's a time and place. Yeah. What do you want to know? Overtraining is sometimes good to overstimulate your program, and don't do it every day. Don't do it every week.
But no time and place. Doing it for 10 years.
Oh. So you're doing like chest day, and you're doing 6 exercises of chest, and you've been doing it for 10 years.
Yeah.
Keep your diet in check and expect an injury. I don't know.
He said expect an injury. I'm on year 14. I'm on year 14.
Yeah, year 14. My thing is,
and I'm less banged up than that Puerto Rican below me.
Listen, with enough time, anything will work. That's what
With enough time, anything will work. Boy, please.
Consistency is the main
Wow,
thing.
Christian, don't even start with me. Don't even start with me when it comes to the gym. I don't even want to hear nothing from your mouth. I don't want to hear nothing because I think you lazy. So I don't want to hear nothing from you. Okay?
Yeah, because you do 6 chest exercises in one day, and
you lazy. I don't want to hear your excuses, bro.
Listen. With enough time, any program will work,
bro. And if you
wait, diet's in check and recovery is in check, you should be good to go,
bro. Hey, you just.
But I wouldn't recommend a bro split to Adam. I know that.
I wouldn't call it a blow split. I don't know where you get this bro split shit
from. That's what it is.
I mean,
that's what the name is.
I mean, I got that from Arnold Schwarzenegger. I wouldn't call that a bro split, bro. Okay, and last time I checked, he was one of the most decorated bodybuilders of all time.
Last time we tried the Arnold workout.
Shut your fucking mouth, boy.
Arnold is king, bro.
Hey, Kent, you side you on, man. Kent, you side of you on, man.
Arnold workout, we almost died, bro.
Hey, Kent, you side of you on, man. Okay?
I'm neutral.
Hey, you can't be neutral, man. You got to pick sides, and you can't pick Christian sides. So by default,
I'm devil's advocate.
Now, this is what I will say about the bro split. It'll allow you to recover that body part by next week.
Which
so
is
you don't have to worry about frequency. You don't have to worry about hitting chest twice, then having to recover to hit chest again on Monday. So like you get overtrained chest on Monday, then by the next Monday you'll be recovered. So that's the one benefit that I like about the bro split, I would say.
And what's your split called?
Huh? I'm doing push-pull legs. Push-pull legs.
That shit sound pussy to me. Okay? Push-pull legs. Sounds fucking weak as fuck. So probably some shit. Hey, probably some shit to put me to sleep. Probably some shit to put me to sleep. Well, hey, one time I listened to Christian. One time we did the Christian workout. Listen to me. One time we did his weak ass shit for 3 months because I said, you know what? I'm gonna listen to Christian. Man, that shit almost put me to sleep. And when I started working out like myself again, I went to the hospital. That's how bad. That's just how bad his shitty ass shit had me. Okay? No. Hey, let me tell you something, Adam. Stick to what you doing, man.
He's not telling the full story.
I'm telling the full story. I told the full story.
All right, so maybe we'll have another debate hour or something. I guess I'm curious if anyone else has any other goals they want to share.
Yeah, Melina, what's your goals?
Honestly, Christian, Richard, I think you guys could go in circles for hours on this.
Because Christian can't tell me anything because what I do works.
Or both.
Go ahead.
Melina, do you have any goals?
Or interested in increasing your numbers for like, at bench, squat, whatever? Or were you primarily interested in like increasing muscle mass?
I mean, what was the first one?
Muscle mass, bro.
Like increasing your strength, like increasing the numbers on all your lifts, or were you more concerned about like increasing your amount of muscle mass?
I mean, I'd say the latter, but I figured that the former is kind of like incorporated in that.
It is. You'll gain more strength with more muscle mass, but there's people who like maintain the same weight, but they increase their strength, and they do that by going to like a lower rep range. That's like I think it's called strength training as opposed to bodybuilding, or maybe it's powerlifting. I keep getting these terms mixed up.
I know what you mean. Right now I'm going for hypertrophy. I'm going to gain muscle mass, and I was gonna do strength training once I got to a point where it was like, whoa, I'm big, but I just don't feel like I'm big yet, so I don't want to do the strength training until I get like big.
Okay,
that's a common misconception. The more muscle you build, the stronger you will be. So it's not a difference between hypertrophy and like hyperplasia. It's all the same thing. You're still building muscle the same way. There's no distinction. Like 20 reps can still build strength, and 5 reps can still build hypertrophy. It's all the same thing.
So, yeah, I mean, I agree. I was just trying to what I'm talking about though? When like someone's focusing on like increasing strength as much as they can without necessarily like what you're seeing as recruitment as opposed to increasing the amount of muscle they have. You know what I'm talking
Yeah, it's you're talking about the volume of the muscle versus density of the muscle.
Okay.
So, yeah.
He's moving it in.
It's not necessarily just that, because you can increase the CNS recruitment muscles by, for example, practicing. Like what he's talking about is like, if I wanted to my numbers on bench and I didn't want to gain weight, I could do that by just practicing with heavy weights. The CNS recruitment would increase and I would get stronger. But that doesn't necessarily mean I got big. You know, to a certain point.
But if you did that same program and increase your protein and increase your calories, you would.
You would gain muscle.
Yeah,
I don't think it's necessarily the most efficient way though. Like he would get bigger faster if he did more reps. You know, in a higher rep range.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you basically arguing volume.
Yeah, volume.
Yeah, but yeah. Hey, Melina, are you ready?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Medina. I'm from Australia. I'm an ENFJ. And I'm trying to get big too, a big good baby. So this is the first live I've joined. I comment here and there on the group. I currently haven't been able to try for a kid because I've got nerve pain, so I'm on medication. But I've been weaning off that medication, so hopefully next month I'll be completely off it, and then I'll be able to start trying, which is good. And one other goal I've been working on is to get a team leader role. So I'm in IT support, and I've actually been a team leader, like relieving. I run a team of 10 people, and I've been incorporating MBTI and Typology into it as well. And my team is going really well, and my general manager is seeing like how well, and I'm trying to incorporate Typology into all our teams across 4 offices. So hopefully I can figure out the types of every other team and try and sort of work them so that they're a bit more optimized, or like maybe we can shuffle people around. I don't know if you want to hear about what kind of types I have in my team.
Yeah, go for it.
What was that? Sorry.
Go for it.
I'm gonna turn this up.
I said you can go for
again?
it. I mean, you can go for it.
All right. Well, I figured out recently my general manager is an ENTJ, so I'm an ENFJ. There's another team leader in my team who used to be my boss, ESTJ, and so we've got a few staff, but we've mainly got philosophers in our team. So we've got 2 ISTJs, 2 ENFPs, we've got 3 ESTJs. We've got, we used to have 1 INTP, but he just got promoted, which I'm sad to see him go. We've got an ESFJ and we've got an INFJ. And so I tend to group them up. I've told them all their types and talked to them about like what that means. I do notice that a lot of the movement types, progression types, I call them agents of chaos, because they really they start a lot of shit and then they come to like the outcome types, which are keepers of order, I call. They come running to like me or the INTP or the ESTJs going, help me, what do I do? To try and get them out of the mess they made. But then they sort of get us up off our ass and like come up with new things and just, I don't know, keep progressing, keep getting better with those fires and all that. So I think it's a good balance. I do see the value in behind the scenes types, and I think because I invested a lot of time in the INTP, he was noticed by a lot more people, and then he got promoted and taken from my team, which I'm sad about, but I'm happy for him. But yeah, I'm not sure what else to talk about. Really.
Okay.
I'm kinda
What are your goals for next
forgetting
month?
what I'm talking about halfway through.
What are your goals for next month?
My goals for next month is to be off my medication completely, and to also maybe have more of a say in what our bigger teams do. All of them are men, all of them are tea users, and it's really eye-opening and alarming seeing them kind of go around in a circle like headless chickens trying to figure out what to do, because they're all expecting TI from the next person. So they divert a decision to the next person, expecting them to fill in like with TI, and then it just goes around in circles. And then they start creating problems. And then the logic might be staring them in the face. So I would have to sort of just kind of get their attention and say, hey, stop, what about this? And then they'll go, oh yeah. And then they say it's like their idea. And
Dina, I actually have a question on that. So I used to work in some complex teams. I'm a technically T user. One of the things I noticed, and this is more common in T users, but sometimes people are ill prepared for their meetings. So I don't know if one of the things I found useful is having a refresher for those people who aren't ready to execute their vision in the moment. I don't know if that's something you or the team has tried, because you're right. Sometimes you do need someone just to pick a direction and move forward. Otherwise, they'll keep deferring. So I guess I'm curious, do you guys have a way to refresh or to start loading that TI earlier so there's less decision deferring?
well, I think I just need to have more authority. I need to just interrupt them and tell the little boys to shut up. I don't know. I think I'm a bit too. No, I'm just watching it at the moment because I'm very new to the role. Like I'm very new to that position of power. And they're already established and they've been in that role for years and years, and they've sort of sneakily been diverting those big decisions to the people, their assistants below them, which was what I used to be, because a lot of them are TI users. So instead of, they like to save face is what I've noticed. They're trying to save face, but then when they're in the room together, it's like this hush thing, like, and they're really just scrambling like headless chickens. And that was very alarming to me as someone who was a level down, being expected to listen to these people and do good work to make them look good. So now I'm wrestling with the feelings that, wow, these people are all shit. Why are they in their position of power? I don't know, like I've got my TE demon out or something. But like, I'm like, why should I listen to any of you? Why should I follow what you want to do? I want to just rip this whole thing you've got going here and let's rebuild. And let's do it properly.
Yeah, so I guess my follow-up question is, do you run the meetings? Like, are you the one assigned for organizing them?
No. It's just like, if it's very ad hoc, like if there's an important decision to make, they just go, okay, let's all just go meet in a room together.
Okay.
And then it's just like who's really directing it?
If there's a gap there and you could fill that, you could organize that more. And even having standing meetings that you could cancel if needed or whatever, that would be a way to be able to influence, and maybe inform them better before making decisions.
Yeah.
My inclination, it sounds like you're saying they're not as informed as they should be, and there might be some process ways to build that in, where they're more informed and you have more take. That's just my 2 cents. Hope that helps.
Yeah. I think it's because I was only doing it temporarily. Like it's like I'm not viewed as having the same status as the rest of them because they're already established. Like, and they've been in the role for maybe like 10 years more, something like that. And I'm very new. And so, and I'm the only girl there, and I'm younger than all of them too. So it's kind of like, and because IT is a male dominated field too. So there's already that sort of them looking at me going, oh yeah, you're just the token woman here. What do you have to bring? But yeah.
Yeah, if you can, so I don't know them, so I'm just going off what you're saying. If you can increase your perceived legitimacy or role in their eyes, you'll endear yourself to them. So I don't know. I'm just talking off the base, but if you can find a way to be more involved in the organization of those meetings or whatever the case may be, that will increase your legitimacy, even from a functionality point of view, and they'll be more likely to listen to you and depend on you. And that's where you can maybe guide vision to run more efficiently. And if you can, in fact, make things run more efficiently, that will keep building your their respect for you and make things run better. They'll be kind of forced to go that method if they run better than they previously did. Anyway, I'll stop because that could go on for a while. I hope that helps.
No, that's fine. Like, thanks for prompting that sort of train of thought, because like my thoughts are a bit everywhere. So I think that's why I've been put in that position, like promoted, because they see how well I run my team and that they're actually happy as well as very efficient. We're the most productive team. So, but a lot of their teams, like they just like run them into the ground or something, and they're all miserable, or they all hate each other and stuff. And if you try and ask more from them, they all burn out. But like with my ones, we're just constantly doing good things, new things, very efficient, and everyone gets along so well. Like they all want to hang out with each other, like after work and shit. Like we go like mini golfing and bowling and all that sort of stuff. Like when like it's time to clock off, they still want to hang out, which is absurd when you look at the other officers. So
that means you're a good leader.
Sort of brought me up. Yeah.
That means you're a good leader. It means you're a really good leader.
And also like one thing that you said about they probably don't have the input. I think that's a good point, because my team trust me enough to keep me included even though I'm the manager, because a lot of teams, they don't want to talk the truth in front of their manager because they're afraid of repercussions, or they're afraid of them taking it personally, or like it affecting them in some way. But they're not afraid to say the truth to me because they know my intentions, I think. I want the best for them. I want them to shine. So like for my INTP, for example, he was very behind the scenes. He was such a good worker, but no one noticed him. And I would just go up to him all the time and initiate, and I'll be like, what are you working on? Show me what you're working on. I want you to help me with this. I want you to come here with me. I want your input on this. And then so he was building confidence, and then people started noticing, oh, this guy seems really good. Or they asked me, how did you do this? And I'm like, well, I just brought him with me, and he's made this system, blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, oh, he seems really good. And then they poached him from me. So
that sounds great. It sounds like you're working with your team in a way that's more built on maximizing their strengths and limiting burnout. And it sounds like their teams are struggling with burnout, and it's really hard to fix those process issues if they're struggling with burnout. So I would say it sounds like your process is encouraging. If you can frame it to them as you're more sociable or more proactive as a way to increase efficiency and burnout, it'll be hard for them to ignore you, if that makes sense. And if they don't do it right, just outlast them. Eventually, they're gonna. If the results keep showing over and over, eventually it's gonna be impossible to ignore.
Yeah, I think integrity is very important. I always try and do the right thing when no one's watching.
Affiliative.
What was that?
Affiliative.
Yeah. I try to do the right thing when no one's watching. But I don't expect praise for it. It's just something that I'm used to. Like, as I've gone up in my career, a lot of people feel blindsided or think I've gotten there in a shady way. but that's because I'm behind the scenes when I'm working on like my plans and things like that. I put in a lot of effort to update my skills, to keep learning, to observe what's working, what's not. And when I do go up, there are people that feel slighted. There are people that don't like the changes I propose because I usually find my own way around. So I have a lot of like STJs that I work with, and they really like to have that one path. That's the way that you move up, by like having credentials or having this and this, or certain traits that they want that make them comfortable. And I'm not about comfortable. I'm about, or like I'm happy like to facilitate their needs, but it's like we're in technology, it's always changing. I can't have the one person do the same job for not even 2 years, because everything changes. You have to be a learner, you have to be adaptable, and you have to be motivated to keep learning and keep improving yourself. And when there's people that just sit back, sit on their ass and just think, okay, I've got this status, I've got this position, I'm going to put my feet up and just take my paycheck. And then people like me come in going, what the fuck are you doing? Get off your ass, because there's work to do, or you're burdening the rest of these people because you want to sit on your ass. They don't like me because I call them out. And I say to my team a lot, like, you don't see me a lot because, like, no, you'll hear from me more if you're doing the wrong thing. You won't hear from me when you're doing the right thing. But, like, I'll praise them and everything. But, like, I won't be your issue if you're doing the right thing. I trust them to do what they can do. So, yeah, kind of lost my train of thought there too. Someone can prompt me or ask me a question. But Mercer, do you have that problem too when you're talking about something and then you just forget it?
I forget books. I forget books, quotes, people and names. I can be talking about it and I'll just forget it. Other day I was with
He's got SI issues.
Other day I was with my buddy. I was with my buddy and we were talking to two girls and they were fucking hot too. And I live right down the street and I was like, oh yeah, I might as well come back to my place. And they was like, oh, where you live? And I fucking forgot their name. I looked at my buddy. I was like, yo, where do I live again? And I've been living there for 2 fucking years. So yeah, I forget.
Yeah, I'll be like, what's that word again? That thing on that word's a hard shit.
So I just forget, but it is what it is.
Huh? Were you drinking alcohol?
No, I was not. Yeah, got you, bitch. You dumb
Did you
mother.
say something, Ali?
No, Christian. He asked, was I drinking alcohol at the time? I said no. Me and Kyle were not
Ali was
drinking.
saying something.
We're not drinking, and I could not remember. I was like,
No, he's not. Okay,
Ali.
give up. Sorry.
I was just gonna ask, like, I mean, if you live right down the street and you forgot your address, why didn't you?
no, I didn't forget my address. I forgot what it was called. You know, like
Yeah.
you want to
I
tell.
forget street names. I know, like, just totems, you know, just like, oh yeah, that shop, like turn left at that shop and then right or whatever.
Yeah, so I forgot the name. You know, like you want to like give people like you don't want to say, yeah, I live right here. I live right down the street. You want to give somebody a name because it's more comfortable to give them a name. But I totally forgot, and I was just like, Kyle, what is it called? Kyle said, bro, I don't know. I'm like, Kyle, what the fuck?
I don't know either. Your place don't got a sign or nothing.
It has a big sign on the building. What are you talking about? And it's like neon.
A building?
Yes.
I don't know the name either. I guess I must be the same type as you.
No, bro, you don't even live here. You never lived here. You don't.
Yeah,
you lived here for
I did
3
live
months.
there.
You lived here for 3 fucking months, bitch. I lived here for 2 years. That don't make no sense.
Yeah.
You sound stupid.
I might be
You never signed a lease here.
ESTJ?
No, you never signed a lease at my place. You never signed anything. You don't even know. You just came here and packed. You just came and showed up at the door. Said, "Hey, bro, I'm staying here for a couple months."
Not the name of the building. I'm an ESTJ, Ali.
Yeah. Anyone who forgets the name of the place must be the whatever type person it is. That's
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah, we're so alike, bro.
No, me and you are not alike, bro. Hey, we are not alike at all. Hey, but wait, let me get what you call because you've been waiting here for a while here. Lemieux, is it Lemieux? Lemieux? He's been faithfully waiting here. And what was your goals for last month?
I've been reading books, like microeconomics, reading stuff shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your goals for next month?
What?
What's your goals for next month?
Next month, I don't know, man. I don't know.
You gotta have some goals, man. Come on now.
I don't know, maybe
Sleep? Oh no. Hey, I'm gonna need some gym stuff out of you, man.
I know. That is so bad. But you still do what can I do, bro?
I need some gym out of you, man. I need some gym. We need to find a gym. Maybe we can get 50 push-ups every 2 days.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know, you got to work on yourself, man. Come on, man. And
I bike in my village for short time and just cardio for me and eating vegetables. Maybe it's good for my health.
What do you think is something you would suggest to the group to improve?
Maybe not every day, not every weekend. Like talk about MBTI and the book you have a book, right? Buy a new book for Dario Nardi.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. The Magic Diamond?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't find anything of that new book because it's new. Even in just using ebook.
I can post more of the stuff. I can post more of it in there.
What?
I can post more of the book in there if you guys want that. I can post more of the book. I was gonna make a video going more detail on the PowerPoint on Dario Nardi. We're gonna have him on tomorrow. He's releasing a new book in March with a whole bunch of brain scans and whatnot. More in depth on the types and stuff. So that's gonna be pretty cool. And if you guys send me questions or whatnot, I'll ask Dario Nardi about whatever you guys send me. But yeah, man, we love to have you here, man. But let's get into Catch. Catch, what were your goals?
What were my goals? I don't know. I'm just kind of taking each day as they come, to be honest.
Yeah. What did you accomplish?
Fitness goals, money goals, relationship goals, anything?
I'm not really interested in a relationship right now. Just got a new job, so I'm not really thinking about job. Fitness, I'm on a strict workout plan. There's nothing really deviating from that. My diet's pretty dialed in. So sleep is pretty dialed in.
So yeah, massive.
Maybe for my projects, I've been milking this health podcast for many years. So
yeah, man.
I have a bunch of crazy, probably more documents than anyone that I know about all the things I want to delve into, but haven't spent the time to really package it so that people can digest it easily.
Yeah. I mean, catch, bro. I mean, you should definitely do that, man. I don't think, dude. You know that shit. You know that shit inside and out, man. Like, I mean, I watch people like Sinclair, all those guys, and yo, you're pretty good, man. Pretty fucking good when it comes to like explaining the process behind things and why it works from a logical perspective and from a scientific perspective, not just logical, but like also from like
the hard thing for me is to like gain a rooting in like where to begin. I know what I needed to do to begin, but like finding the momentum to start a project is pretty challenging.
Have you considered thinking about some guests or people you'd like to have on?
I have a full list.
So if you start reaching out to them, that might be a way to actually trigger whoever responds first. That could be a way to trigger the motivation of where to start. You've got 30 different health topics that you're thinking about. Well, maybe the keto guy responds first, and that's a good place to start. I'm just throwing out an example. I don't know if that helps, but I'm just thinking out loud.
Yeah, and I've thought about that too. It's just, I don't want like a professional dialogue to be with like the very first person. I'd rather my first dialogue be more casual, so that I guess it's like perfectionism and imposter syndrome all combined. I know the standard that production needs to be at for it to gain traction the fastest or most efficiently, and I know that I'm not at that level of standard yet. But it's like a catch-22. It's like you can't get to that standard unless you practice.
Right.
Follow through with the plan. So that's what I'm kind of. It's like the internal struggle that I'm dealing with. It's like,
right. And you only have so much time, though. I mean, you only have so much time. And some of the best podcasts are actually when you have an expert talking with a newbie who just has critical questions. So I mean. Just understanding if you have limited time, you don't have to have the full world of knowledge on every topic. Sometimes someone who's looking at it from a new perspective that asks impactful questions can be easier because the audience can walk with them easier. It's easier for them to walk with the person learning it on the go. So it's just something to consider.
Yeah, and there's so many different ways that I could approach it. It could be like, really scientific and really out there, esoteric, but is that going to reach the audience that I want to reach? Like, do I want to help the commoner or do I want to help the scientist? Or, who's my target audience? Like, all these things are just things that I'm running into blocks because I can't figure out. And
I think you should just get started, man, and start posting. If you don't want to post it to the masses because you need to be at a certain level, what you could do is post it in the group. There's only about 200 people. It's not the masses. Use that as practice, kind of thing. And when you give you feedback, we can tell you, hey, you can improve this, that, and then eventually, once you're ready to take it to the masses, then you have that archive of content from the group that you can kind of pull from, or you can create new.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But I was thinking that in the back of my mind, and
that's basically how Mercer started posting content. Is like me and him started posting it to the CSJ group, and then eventually we took it over here. So.
But Ketch, I mean, I said I wanted to get you on one of the interviews because I really want to get into the best supplemental stack for longevity. You know me, I'm longevity crazy. And don't talk about my drinking, man. I don't want to hear it. All right, I want to hear it.
So DK, can I hop in for just another second? So one thought that occurs to me too is if you're not sure on who you necessarily want to speak to, you could always start with a beginner level and then have follow-ups as well, right? So you could have like here's your beginner level to topic one, here's your intermediate level, and then your advanced deep dive. that might be a way to broaden your audience and letting the audience choose then what's going to be the best use of their time. Because there's some topics where I just need a surface level, understanding, while there's other topics, having the option to go deeper is actually very valuable. So it's just something to consider.
Yeah. And I've thought about the same. It's just, and then you're dealing with like long format versus short format, and then different structures of the content. So I'm just overthinking it, really. So I don't know.
Man, I think you got a lot of knowledge. So all you have to do is be able to spoon feed it to people in not a complex level to where you start talking about 2-in-1, 7, 5, 2, 9, jumping from this molecule, that people gonna get lost because they don't even have a science background, So you got to figure out a way to kind of like make it in a way that they can tell a third grader, and they can. I mean, basically that's it. At
least start easy.
Like
get more complex as you build their knowledge base. Yeah, start easy.
Like I've gotten so good with typology, I can literally go out and talk to a damn third grader and tell them about like interaction styles and temperaments and whatnot. I practice all the time when I'm meeting new girls. It's like my number one go-to fucking sign. I'd be like, hey, can I guess if you're introverted or extroverted? Boom, and I'm in there. Who says so?
Are you trying to start like a YouTube channel or something? What are you doing? I kind of missed part of this because I was in the middle of getting ready.
Wait, what would you say, Ali?
Are you trying to start like a YouTube channel or something? Like, what are you?
Yeah, YouTube, podcast, write a book.
Have you researched at all like how those things like blow up and get viral? Maybe like.
Of course, yeah. I've studied SEO. I've studied social media marketing. I've studied virality. I've studied the algorithm. All those things. That's why I'm so hesitant, because I know too much and how to do it properly. And if you don't do it this way, you won't get this result, type of thing. I'm just kind of like paralysis of analysis.
Okay, and then it goes back to what Gretchen already said, what other people have already said, just get started, I guess.
Yeah.
All right.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah.
Man, yeah. I mean, like I said, man, you know that shit inside and out, and I only trust the best when I come to somebody. And when I come to you, I always feel like I get the perfect information. I mean, you always talk about fucking drinking and all that other shit. But, hey, when I say, what's the best drug for this, or what's the best supplement for this, or what should I be looking at, you always give me great information and great feedback. And I really appreciate that. And I think I've always said it, man. I think you know too much. So you should honestly try to get it out there, man. There's a lot of people that know less than you.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were done. But I was going to say, maybe you should look into More Place, More Dates and see how he did his thing. Because honestly, when you started talking to me, you immediately reminded me of that guy. Like, immediately.
I've thought about making like a mock, like a replica of how he does his interview, how he does his podcast or his channel, and like literally have the wooden background and like talk to the camera and have my notes in front of me. And so in that respect, you'd get traction just by people saying, oh, he's like this guy. And just in that small aspect, it'd be pretty funny to kind of replicate,
Yeah, I can see it going both ways. Like, people going like, oh, he looks like it's like this guy, and that gives more views. Or people can be like, oh, he's like this guy, but I'd rather watch More Place, More Dates. And then you don't carve out more niche.
Right. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I like that perspective.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, man. I think, like I said, man, I'm pretty sure everybody, when you started talking, was like, what the fuck is this guy? Like, who is this guy? I kind of enjoyed it, especially how you were talking about the vegan stuff. And it was two TI uses go.
A little rusty.
Yeah, it was
a little rusty. It's not as fresh on my mind. I haven't looked at health and wellness in like over a year. So. Technically fresh.
Yeah, I mean, there's some great stuff.
But
Hey,
you're revitalizing it.
Yeah, you got to catch your back on it, man. Hey, you're my expert on this, man. You can't let me down, man. You never know when I come calling.
Call me 24/7. I'm always up.
He said I'm always up. But yeah, what do you think is something we could do to make the group better? I know you got great ideas.
post relevant content.
He said relevant content. You know me, I post.
In terms of the group, you know.
Yeah.
Like more things about, like, I don't know anything about personalities.
Mm-hmm.
I have no clue what you guys mean when you're saying like acronyms and different letters and stuff. So just by you posting more hyper-focused content would help me learn more about what this is all about.
Okay.
And yeah, in terms of like the group and like this group that we're talking to, just dial in your sleep, really, you know. Like develop a sleep routine 2 hours before sleep. You know, try not to be on your computer or your phone. Turn off your lights, dim your lights. Don't look at any blue light before bed. And really pay attention to light around you before bed, which can be really important to sleep architecture. Probably the best thing.
You saying this to me is like he's telling Mercer not to drink. Like I'm surrounded by drinks. But it's true. It's completely true. Light's the signal for both.
Just change the bulb. If you have your lights on, just change your bulb to a red bulb instead of a fluorescent bulb.
Yeah.
Like literally change the light bulb. You know.
Yeah.
And it's cheaper to go LED anyway.
Yeah, I got one. I got an LED smart bulb that like automatically changes color.
Nice. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, well we got Pharrell. Hey Pharrell, what was your goals for last month, and what did you accomplish?
Well, I guess I'm still trying to accomplish this, but okay, I like telling dark humor.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like telling jokes
that
are dark. And I'm pretty good at it.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I could go a little too far, even though I'm a feeler.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I'm feeling. I could sometimes go a little too far and hurt someone's feelings and probably make them uncomfortable to a certain degree that they am a creep.
Mm-hmm.
But my intention is not really to make them uncomfortable and make them a creep.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to dial it down. But sometimes I forget to do that. So I guess the goal from last month was
Medina.
to try to not, when I do tell dark humor, to dial it back a bit.
Mm-hmm.
More or less just trying to tell less. I guess that would be the same goal for this month, is to learn how to read the room a bit and I guess tell less dark humor.
Okay. So you gonna be able to tell us some jokes next month?
I can tell you one right now.
Go ahead. Give us one.
Are you sure?
He said, "Are you sure?"
You got to practice somewhere, right?
Yeah, you got to practice somewhere.
Okay, all right. I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable and creep them out. So, okay. Well, I used to be on the football team. I was in 9th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And then I used to be the water boy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, my coach would put me out in a game.
Mm-hmm.
But I used to do good in the goals.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to know what I do? You want to know the reason why my coach put me on the game is because he's racist. And so you want to know what I did? Once I found out it was for a racial issue, I grabbed his board, hit him in the knees, then grabbed the pen and plunged it down his eye.
You actually did this?
No.
Oh. I was gonna say, what the fuck? Hey, I was like, what the hell? And I was like, oh man. But do you have any suggestions for like the group to just to make it better?
Can you repeat that again?
Do you have any suggestions to make the group better?
Oh yes. I guess because I went back and watched your videos, and I'm learning a little bit how to type people, and how you break it down really helped. even though I got the PDF version. So I feel like if you do more of that, because for some people, they learn by visual experience. This is more for the visual learners.
Okay.
So I feel like if you break it down more for the visual learners, but go more in depth into it, I feel like it could make a difference.
Okay, perfect. I'll probably. I was gonna do that, but yeah, it's good. Okay.
Because from what I learned, at least from my experience, I'm watching your videos. It really helps me. I guess I'm still trying to get the ropes of it, but getting better at typing people. Like I was able to type my uncle. I think he's an ENTP. I was able to type my cousin. I think she's an ISTP. So,
yeah, man, good job.
But it's mainly because of your videos, how you break it down each one.
So I'll try to go more in depth. I'll try to go. I'll make a video just on the whole mechanics behind it. Direct responding, pragmatic versus affiliative, abstract versus concrete. What I'm looking at when I see TFI, what I'm looking at when I see TIFE, stuff like that. So I'll probably do that this weekend. Get that out.
Because my cousin, she wants to she saw the video that she did on me, and she wants to get into it.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to learn how to do it so I could type her.
Yeah.
Myself.
Okay, perfect, man. Well, hey, I'll definitely get on that, man.
Friends and romance.
Huh?
Do a video on compatibility.
He said compatibility.
Of friends, but also like adversaries, but also romance.
Yeah.
I feel like you should do more of that too, because I don't know how ENTJs are. I'm gonna be honest, I seen Euphoria, and I think Nate Jacobs ENTJ, and they scared the hell out of me. So.
You scared the hell out of me. Nah, man, don't be scared.
So I kind of want to know from each personality type's point of view of how they think of compatibility.
Okay, perfect.
But with ENTJs, it's just like, oh crap.
No, I'll try to get. What I'll try to do is I'll try to get each person that I know personally. Personally in the group, to talk about the types that they find are the most compatible to themselves, and then we'll try to go from there. Like maybe I'll get Jordan, Shelley.
Thread to start Mercer, starting point. Or Pharrell, if you want to start that thread, people can respond and start helping educate people. I mean, I think the key thing to keep in mind is that for those who believe in typology, it's just one piece of the puzzle. It might be an important piece, but it's still one piece of the puzzle, right? And so, and I would say probably the most important part of it is it helps with communication. That's probably the biggest gap I had before learning about it, and then learning about it is how to communicate with people who are different a little bit easier. So they don't think I'm just a robot and I think they're the opposite. But just try to understand where they're coming from and how they may interpret what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, it's been 2 hours and 40 minutes. So any last arguments? No? Everyone's good?
Pharrell's got his hand.
Oh, Pharrell. Oh, shit. I didn't even see your hand, brother.
No, I was going to add some more. I guess more so
Mercer.
Like, for example, as an ISFP, I was able to find out, I know for the compatibility for ISFP is someone in the SJ category. But from what I learned on is because I got a friend that is INFP, is that INFPs and ISFPs, they get along too. So more or less as for some ENTPs, and so that's just from what I learned as a ISFP so far. More so from my INFP mates, I guess. But that's why I put it on YouTube. Can you type Johnny Depp? Because I thought about it. I usually watch one of his interviews, and I know he's not an INFP. And so because I've been around an INFP.
It's okay.
I've been around.
That's good, man.
I've been around an INFP, and so I have an idea on how an INFP is, or not how INFP is, and so I know enough that person's not INFP. And like you said, they're very affiliative. It's like me and the person that like INFP friend talk. I would try to, because I have this belief that I guess it comes in the rules of a rebel with a good cause factor. You ever heard that?
Pragmatic, but
in order to help people, you have to break rules to help them out. But she will always, no matter what, try to do the right thing. And I asked her, why you want to do the right thing? You know? But so that's how I know she's INFP. Because that first part she's INFJ, but she doesn't give that INFJ direction. She's more informative style.
Hey man, congratulations, man! You learning shit, man. You're applying it. That's the best thing you can do is learn something and apply it, and then keep going and not getting stuck in a box. You thought she was INFJ, and then you kept going, and you're like, it's not making sense to me. Okay, and you find out her true type, man. That's what I think a lot of people don't do. They try to say someone's one type, and they don't want to change it based off the data. Sometimes things don't add up, and you got to be like, okay, it's not adding up here. Like this person not INFP, this person's ISFP, because when you first started talking, I was thinking you were an INFP, and then I start hearing you start saying like rebellious type things. I'm like, oh hell no, he's ISFP, But you got to be able to say, like, you got to be able to notice those things and be okay and not get so wrapped up into it. I think some people just get so wrapped up into it, and it's just bad. But Jordan, you got anything you want to say before we go?
No, I just appreciate everyone, joining the call and adding their thoughts and intelligence in the conversation.
Yeah. Kat, you got anything you want to say?
You talking about me?
I said Catch first and then now you.
Oh, sorry.
Anything? No, you got anything? Shit, she can't hear me, can she? Well, Lemu, you have anything?
None.
All right, well, see you guys next month. We'll do one next month. I'll put the date in there. All right, this is gonna be a good one to go back and watch over. I'm
ready to schedule, Mercer. So let me know.
All right, you guys. It's a wonderful. Hey, watch the first 20 minutes. I swear to God, you'll laugh so hard. If you guys go back and rewatch the first 20 minutes, whoo! All right, you guys, take it easy.